the free Stingray Music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Now McDavid to Nugent Hopkins. Back to Bouchard. McDavid cuts it front. Pitches. What's a storm? This game is tied. Leon Draisaitl, second of the game, is the equalizer.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
On the Packers record. Second and goal. Jacobs trying to bounce to the outside. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Touchdown. Green Bay takes the lead.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Dodgers led early 2-0. Blue Jays 2 in the fourth, 3 here in the sixth.
Drives it deep, right center field. It is gone. Madison Barger does indeed blow it open with a pinch hit grand slam.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 528, Monday, October the 27th. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show. Hope you had just a fabulous weekend. There was sports on TV, and then there was sports on TV, and it went late every night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial, on your morning drive into work, or wherever you're heading out on a Monday morning. You can also watch us now. We've been going for a good month and some here on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like and a subscription. We're also on X, Facebook, and even Instagram, and we're always streaming on wherever the streaming services are that you partake in, iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, and then even on sports1440.ca. And then if you miss any part of any show, it turns into one of the many, many podcasts out there. Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Subscribe, select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of the show. Oilers pick up a point last night in Vancouver. In reality, the finale of basically an 8-game road trip. They had 5 out east, come back for one day. Then they go to the West Coast for 2. They lose in Seattle on Saturday night, pick up a point after trailing 3-1, losing in overtime. Thatcher Demko was really good. Cal Pickard made some big saves as well. It's Leon Draisaitl's 30th birthday today. And last night, Draisaitl had a couple of big goals in his 800th career game. Went in with 965 career points. He's going to get to 1,000 here. Oh, I don't know, sometime around Christmas time or maybe wherever it is. But he's going to reach 1,000. It's going to be pretty cool for sure. And hey, the Canucks never had Quinn Hughes last night, and they've had a lot of injuries. They had like 5 regulars out last night, but you're kind of happy with the point after trailing 3-1 after 40, but still a lot of work to be done. Hey, let's welcome in our co-host Mondays and Fridays, the great Eddie Steele. Good morning, Eddie. You get a fob here, and now you think you can just come in and own the place, eh? After 2 years and 2 months, Eddie finally got a fob.
This is my joint. Oh, I got you boys good. Even the Three Stooges back there that we see, they jumped. I got you boys good because I snuck around and I didn't come in through the glass. I came in the other way, the long way. I actually had to even walk because it's a long corridor, fellas, as you know. I had to walk slow and catch my breath.
What are you talking about?
To scare you.
Yeah. But I mean, there was nothing.
Oh,
that
Kevin,
was an absolute
Kevin,
nothing.
the way your cheek shook, your lower jaw, I thought was going to fall off.
No, those cheeks, they shuffle all the time now. It's not as tight as it used to be.
Hey, you're looking right.
You had a good weekend?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Yeah. Man. Lots going on. Tons of sports, eh?
Well, again, if you look at Friday night, the Elks played their last game. That went till basically 11 o'clock. Saturday, the Jays game, and then the Oilers game. You know, you're looking at 6 p.m. till 11. Sunday, you could go Sunday Night Football if you wanted. Then again, Oilers.
It's not my ideal window.
It's a later start for you.
Yeah, it's not my ideal window. I'm a 9:30, 10 p.m. bed. Like 11 is a stretch.
Yeah.
Stretch.
I watched both of them, and the Oiler games, and then last night too. And again, when you look at this team right now, so you're 4-4-2 in 10 game segments, if that's what you're doing. And Chris Knobloch has said that he does stuff in segments, and maybe this is the end of their segment. But now you come home, you got 3 games at home, starting with the Mammoth tomorrow, and Utah's on a heater here. They've won 7 in a row. It's hard to believe where they are in the standings, but they're playing very well. Dylan Gunther had the game winner last night for Utah in their win. But
around the league, like 2 Connor Brown, holy smoke.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jersey's 8 in a row.
They're rolling.
You come out of the gates, but you can probably, if you come out of the gates and get a start like this, you're going to have a funk. Every team does.
Every team does.
But,
Montreal too. Like you look at the standings right now,
it's
and
crazy.
It is crazy.
When you
7-3, I believe.
Yeah.
Is Montreal
7-3. But if you look at the 3, in the Atlantic, it's Montreal, Detroit, and Florida's 5-5. In the Met, it's New Jersey and Pittsburgh. No one would have ever said it's New Jersey and Pittsburgh at the top there.
Yeah.
And then out here, it's Utah and Colorado. Well, everyone would say yes, and Winnipeg, yeah. But I mean, Seattle's in there. They're 5-2-2. The Kings are ahead.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of teams like the Oilers are 4-4-2. I mean, they're knocking on the door here, but that was a tough stretch here.
Through 10, how do you feel? Because you break it down into 10 game segments. So, this is one of 8.
I'll tell you what, there's some positive to get that point last night. But I'll look at it like this, and how many times did we say this last year, Eddie, and even the year before? And too often, the team is a switch flipper. That's this. If you're asking me, what do you think in the first 10 games, in one sentence answer, too often they're a switch flipper. And that can come back to haunt you. It can hurt you. And teams that are successful teams do that less and less and less frequently. How's that sound?
And that would be a problem, because when you run into a team that you can't flip that switch, well, what do you fall back on? What's the foundation that you can rely on?
And that's how successful championship teams are built. And the Oilers are close. I mean, you can't get closer than what they have been.
Would you say Nauber's trying to make it a defensive identity this year to follow back on that brand, or what?
I think he's still searching for
searching.
Think about this. In the first 10 games, the 2 guys on the back end that probably have come under the most heat would be Bouchard and Nurse. They played together last night, and actually they were pretty good. There was nothing wrong with their game last night. The bigger concern, Wallman and Ekholm, there's nothing there. Zip.
Ekholm's struggling too.
Ekholm on the 3rd goal, when Kiefer Sherwood ran around, toe dragged him. But even on, if you look at the first goal, it's a pass that from your own end diagonally across the entire neutral zone by Wallman that is picked off quite quickly, and play reverses. But also at that time, Ekholm and Wallman are going off for a change. They don't have the synchronicity.
Yeah, I was going to say they're not communicating, not in sync. Kiefer Sherwood too. Yeah, he was
had a hell of a
playing yesterday, man.
But again, you can look at that, and if you want to say it's like a switch flipper, and that's just my opinion, that's about paying the price more and building on what you were saying. It's those building blocks at the bottom, because those are the hard ones to build. Everyone sees the house and it's all fancy up, you get the nice siding and the beautiful roof and everything. But if you haven't got that at the very bottom on that foundation,
that stuff is cheap. That stuff will get blown over in a strong wind now.
Suckers crumbling down.
You need a foundation. Yeah. Well said, KK.
That's how, when you're building, and that's why everyone says, well, they talk about Florida. Well, that foundation's there. As you said, when your game isn't there and you flip that switch and it doesn't turn on, well, now you're at that point where you can rely and go back to that foundation.
Part of it is it just seems like they're getting outskated right now as well. They're not as quick to pucks.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like throughout, and you're never going to dominate 60. You're strong on that. The other team is playing too. But it seems like I don't know. They're not. There was a lot of talk about this team is a lot quicker going into this season, and to me, my eye test tells me they're getting beat to a lot of pucks.
Yeah. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne for a Monday morning. Duke, did you have a game last night again, late one?
I did.
Oh.
Not late.
Because he sort of was dragging his ass in here.
He came in a little. Oh,
Did you play
guys.
goal?
No, I would have been better just to hang my stuff up in the locker room and go sit in the bleachers and watch for how it went last night. It was a rough night for your boy. Tropics lose. It's okay. Still a strong start to the season. No complaints.
Well, and I mean the game that Eddie picked, that I decided to pick in Cincinnati.
Game of the week.
Wrong.
I can't understand what's going on with me here.
Game of the week.
Like-
It is now 21-11 after my correct pick on
Yeah,
Sunday Night Football
that's
of the
fair.
Packers.
And
Kevin's
there's
personal
another,
record 4-12.
like, think about that. There isn't anyone that would have bet on the New York Jets after 3 quarters yesterday.
I
would you?
tried to throw you guys rubbish, and that's so funny.
Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. Like that. I mean, how that's 5 games that they've lost Cincinnati where they put up, is it 35 points?
Their record going over the past 2 seasons is, I think, 1-3 or 1-4 when scoring 38 points or more.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Not good.
Sickening. So
Not good.
that was the right pick, Duke. You would have taken Cincinnati. Oh, don't even.
That's a lot
Eddie.
of points for a team that has maybe the worst defense. in
They're
the
up
league.
15, 16
Oh,
points
yeah,
after
that's-
3 quarters.
That's crazy.
You would have taken
Oh,
Cincinnati.
of
Yeah,
course.
probably.
Murder, she
Everyone,
wrote.
yeah. Murder, she wrote. Yeah. It was National Tight End Day too, eh?
Oh, how about what's his name
Kraft.
over? Yeah,
Yeah.
Tucker.
I
Love
mean,
that.
Kraft,
man.
I mean, I don't know if there was a tight end that had a bad game yesterday.
Did you happen to see during the broadcast how they went back and showed some video clips of Tucker in high school?
Yeah,
Man,
The
he
mo-
was
the
big.
mom-
He
Oh,
was so
the
big compared to
lanky
everybody.
Kid, the
Yeah.
mom there at the hospital.
But he was
everything
just
else
huge.
good.
They had him as a running back. He was just huge.
Yeah.
Looked like Derrick Henry.
We're going to touch a lot on the Jays and the Dodgers here as the morning progresses, but we're going to have Chris Morris on at 7:20 right off the hop here. Thanks to Michael at the Elks for facilitating this one. I'm sure, Eddie, when you saw that we were going to have him on, you started to think about what you wanted to ask him.
Absolutely.
It's a harder because, like Ed Hervey's, he's player personnel. He's, Chris oversees everything. So it's not like, hey, what are you going to do with Trey
No,
Ford
exactly.
next year, right?
Absolutely.
So
This is different.
it's different. There's other things to ask. But, I mean, I'm sure that there are personnel issues, if you want to call it that Chris and Ed still talk between the two of them.
For sure they do.
So, yeah.
I'm going to try and keep my bullets holstered here because
Yeah.
I could
And
could
we're going
fill
to have
some of
Ed,
my
we'll
questions
have
with
Ed
you,
on as the week progresses.
and that'll be probably more personnel directed.
yeah, I mean, because everyone, it's Trey Ford, it's
I think we know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty self-explanatory, right?
well, I guess so. I don't know.
Has to be.
Yeah.
With the money.
Well, the money, and I mean,
And I
Or-
just don't think Trey and clicked with the people in the building, in the
a
four
fresh
walls.
start is maybe just
Fresh
what
start.
But
Exactly.
again, he's not a starting quarterback in the league yet.
No.
So he needs an injury or whatever it is, and that's the way. That's just simple.
That's the reality
Simple
of
to
it.
see.
I remember sitting across from you, and was
Mm-hmm.
it last season or no? It would have been 2 seasons ago, even
Oh, I
when
mean,
we were talking about just Trey at quarterback and some of the stuff that was coming out that we had heard. And I remember
Mhm.
in the old studio.
we've talked about it a lot.
A lot.
And I mean, you and Gregor have disagreed on this for 2.5 years. And I mean, Eddie, you were in the trenches. I lean towards you. And the stuff that I saw, my eye test, just not being a football guy.
Yeah.
First, I saw the same things that you did.
Yeah, and I just, I'm never going to speak on a guy's
Yeah.
career,
Yeah.
but just the trail that I can see it going down, having been in the shoes of a pro football player.
Mhm.
He's not a starter in this league. I don't foresee him wanting to be a backup. And the kid is I say kid, I'm 10
Yeah.
years older than him. He's 27.
27 years old. Yeah.
But he is very smart and has played his cards right in terms of setting himself up off the field.
Mhm.
So, football may not be his end all be all. He's flipped like 4 or 5 houses now.
Yep.
He's a great renovator, carpenter. So he's got some good opportunities outside of ball, and that's bigger than football, in
Sure it
my
is.
opinion. Sitting here on the other side of the fence, I say, good for you, Trey.
Well,
That's in your 20s to be doing that. That's big, man.
especially because there are very few people that come out of the CFL, as you know, Eddie. and
Exactly.
finish their career and go, I'm set.
I'm set. Very few.
I don't even know, like, you can only count on a handful. Like, I don't know anyone that played till they're 37, 38 and said, I'm okay.
Yeah. Like Bo Levi Mitchell. Here's the numbers. If
Yeah.
you're just driving around and you want to think about the numbers, Bo Levi Mitchell, he's 37, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's been making $500K since he's been about 25.
Mhm.
So there's
There's
12
one
years
guy.
of
That's
making
one guy,
500 to 700K. And yeah, you should be set up, but that's the high benchmark in CFL right there.
Again, that's the one.
That's the high benchmark starting quarterback.
Maybe a guy like Trevor Harris again.
Exactly.
That's been
Those
around.
starting QBs
You got to be around a long time.
got to be around.
Rourke will be fine.
Oh, yeah. Rourke will
Yeah.
be. Yeah, he'll be just fine, man.
So Chris Morris, Edmonton Elks president, CEO, will be with us right after the break. We got Mark Spector at 8 o'clock. Thanks to Low Tide for sliding into 8:20 now, with Morris coming in at 7:20. Jensen Lewis, excited to have Jensen on every time he comes on. By the Books, VSiN Live. We will discuss game number 3. It's Scherzer versus Glasnow, and you can hear the game right here on Sports 1440 at 6 o'clock, right after the Jason Greger show. We got Landon Ferraro and Connor Halley in the 10 o'clock hour. Coming right up after the break, Chris Morris, Elks president and CEO. It's the Kevin Karius show with Eddie Steele and the Duke of Delburne, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from, with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter. When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned, with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie, and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Allen Olson Auctions presents the annual Rimby Fall Consignment Sale. Online bidding is open right now through October 29th at AlanOlsonAuction.com. This 5-ring sale features thousands of lots. Bid on machinery such as tractors, haying and harvest equipment, skid steers, and more. A variety of cattle handling equipment and buildings. A huge assortment of vehicles and RVs. And 2 miscellaneous rings with a variety of great finds. Don't miss the biggest sale of the season. Visit AlanOlsonAuction.com.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 721 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the plumber to call when the toilet mysteriously breaks after your jalapeno pepper popper fueled game night with the fellas. That's mrrooter.co or CA, pardon me, as we welcome in the CEO and president of the Edmonton Elks, Chris Morris. Morning, Chris. You're with Kevin Karius and former Grey Cup champion from 2015, Eddie Steele. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, Kevin. How you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Always good to talk to you, Chris. And, with the season ending on Friday night, just wondering if you can give an overall, maybe a statement of how you thought this year went for the football club.
Yeah, you look at the season and you look at like the last year, and I think it's been a needed building block year for where we were. Like everybody knows this. The fans all know this. Like we were the worst team in the league, right? And from a revenue standpoint, we were approximately 1/3 of the revenue coming in of what the Blue Bombers or the Rough Riders or the top teams in the league they're contending for the Grey Cup every year. So for us, there was a major reclamation project, not just on the field, but off the field in regards to how are we going to give ourselves the opportunity to be competitive. Like if you look at our spending on football, and we all know like guys who have played and guys who have been around the league a long time, you need players and you need quality players and you need to be competitive from that standpoint. Like this club for years, because of the financial issues that it had been spending below the salary cap. But Kevin, not just below the salary cap, what a lot of people don't know about the CFL is there's an extra pool of money tied to community and tied to community service that the CFL uses. Well, we were spending less than $100,000 in that pool, and Winnipeg was well over $400,000 to $500,000 a year for a long time. So you start looking at the roster that you're able to build, on a $5.5 million salary cap, a little bit less than that for the years before, with an extra $500,000. And you start to see like why Winnipeg is consistently fielding a team that's very, very good, and we're not. And then you look at us and our ability to generate revenue and our partnership with members of this community here. And Kevin, like Santa's Anonymous had walked away from us. Yeah. Like that's where we were. Santa's Anonymous had walked away from us. So like we're in a situation here, Kevin. We had the best year in the history of the franchise in partnership revenue last year. So we were able to go and repair a lot of fences with a lot of people that wanted to be associated with us, but just couldn't do it the way we were doing business. And we've been able to be competitive with our salary cap and our community money. And I'll tell you this, I sent a survey out when the season ended, and I sent a very similar survey out last year. There was a very high percentage of players last year who didn't feel that their families and themselves were taken care of here by the organization. We have 100% so far. I've got like 15 kids in so far from the surveys. I sent it out yesterday because the season just ended, right? So the 15, 100% feel that they were looked after, that this was a good place, that we were going to look after them. So you start looking at, okay, how do you build? Well, you build with resources, with money for salary cap and for community service. And you build with reputation of looking after people and making sure that they feel like they're part of something.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think we put some very, very good building blocks in place, but this is the first time I've ever been associated with pro football where I haven't been in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very disappointed. And I think Ed's very disappointed as well. And we all are, but we're pretty far behind, and it's a process to get caught up.
Chris, that was a very good assessment of the season, especially some pulling back the curtains and giving the listeners some behind the scenes understanding of the business ops. And I always am just so grateful for your honesty, because you keep it real all the time, Chris, and you're not scared to talk about the numbers and where this club was at. And then the ability that you guys have had and able to restore those relationships, like you said, some of those partnerships. Now, what are some of the things that you have learned this first year being a president? Because you've been a head coach now the past decade plus of your life. So now it's quite different. You're dealing with operations a lot more. You're dealing with business. What's been some learning things that you have seen this first year? And what has surprised you as well, Chris?
Yeah, what surprised me is the lack, I think, of understanding in the last few years here in this organization around what business really is. Like, business is relationships. Business is talking to someone and them feeling like there's some sort of mutual benefit to being associated with you and feeling good about that. Like, Eddie, when you walk into a store and you talk to someone, within 5 minutes, you know whether that guy's just hustling you to try to make the best deal for himself or whether he's actually there to help you. Like, our approach to business here has been one of, I think because it's been desperation, because there's just been no money, that we've been kind of that greasy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anything possible to make a buck. And that to me is the cornerstone of any good relationship. And I think business is relationship. I've always thought that wherever I've been to try to build and build some sort of business enterprise, wherever it is, or whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to engage with people, you have to have those relationships. And I think that was not, it was being compromised a little bit by the fact of how desperate the organization was. Mm-hmm. From an operations standpoint, guys, there's a bunch of stuff that, like, from a ticketing standpoint, where, like, you look at our data in relation to, like, the emails, the phone numbers, all those different things tied to our ticket base. Like, we didn't even have that information. We couldn't even, like, it wasn't being compiled in a way where we could accurately use it. Because again, we were down staffed, so we didn't have the right people in place because the data analysts to do that stuff. Like, there's a million things from a ticketing standpoint. And guys, there's 3 sources of revenue here. Like God, this isn't rocket science, right? It's ticketing, it's partnerships, and it's merchandise. And when the main arm of your revenue generation is basically crippled, it's really, really hard, especially combined with the fact that you're not winning on the field. So you don't have a great gate every week. So there's been a million things we've done. We've got some really good young people driving now different parts of our business. And I think that from that standpoint, we're organized. I would say we're at least, from when I started last year, we're at minimum 3 months ahead of where we were last year at this time in regards to where our budget is. Our plan for what we're going to execute in this year is in place. We're just finalizing our budget, and everybody will just get to work. Like, it was very reactionary around here. It was just jumping around trying to deal with, like, different skeletons that would pop up from wherever it was. And now we have a solid plan, and I think that building of that consistency and that sort of a predictable schedule, I think, is going to be a nice change for people.
Edmonton Elks President CEO Chris Morris with us. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you on Sports 1440. So you mentioned those 3 areas where revenue is generated. And I mean, selling tickets and getting bums in the seats is number 1. But again, and I might be off with the number a little bit here, but the decrease in attendance this year, Chris, around 7%. It's better than what it was a year ago, because that's probably the lowest point of the franchise in maybe history. How do you get more fans to come to the games? And I know everyone says it's about winning, but I think it's the foundation that you're talking about that's being built that is equally important.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Kevin, it's interesting because our revenue is way up, but the number of people that came is a little bit down, and that's because our ticketing was in such a mess. Like, there were people sitting beside each other and paying hundreds of dollars more for a seat in the same section. Wow. So cleaning all that up and changing and making sure that we're consistent in what we're doing, that's that's one of those foundational pieces, right? And it's funny because I talk all the time about, like, it's got to turn. Like, nothing works if our football team isn't good. We're in pro football. Like, I think of that movie Major League, where it's the Cleveland Indians, and it's just there's no one there, and then they start winning, and that's sports. Like, they make movies about sports because it really is. If you don't win, it doesn't matter how much perfume you put on the skunk, it stinks, right? And we are getting to the point, guys, where I feel we're organized as a football operation. We have good, serious grown-ups running our football organization, and we're going to field a very, very good team coming forward. We have and I get, like, there's a lot of optimism around us right now, but there's lots of holes we have to, like, we are nowhere near where we need to be from a talent standpoint, we are going to get there, though, because we got the right people doing it. And I think they've done an excellent job. If you look at the thing they've done best this year, Mark and Ed, the culture, those guys fight, man. That team plays hard. They get after it. And I think that's something that's going to stick with whoever we bring in as we start, like, looking for the 4 or 5 extra pieces we need here to turn the corner. I think that's really going to stick. And I think that's going to be a huge building block. But Kevin, like, it's about getting a reputable product on the field. Like, think about our wins. I think we had 6 wins at home this year. If you count the preseason, like, we have won 6 games at home. I don't know when the last time would have been. Like, we're coming off a time where there was 20-something games in a row where we lost at home. So that's a big, big step forward for us, is having a good product on the field here at home. And I think we did that this year.
Chris, I really love what you say, man, because you corroborated a point that I've been standing firm on here for a long time, and it's all about winning. Sure, there's things that need to take place off the field, and that's exactly what your job is there for. But you need to win games, and you need to have a good on-field product, and that's what's going to put butts in the stands. Now, being a former coach, Chris, does it kill you watching from the office? Because, you know, you went from a player where you're totally involved in the game to a coach where you're less involved, but you're still recruiting. You're getting your dogs out there, guys you want in place. Now, as the president, you're even less involved, and you're involved in different circumstances. How is it watching from the office, not really having that say in the game?
Yeah, I've always approached it like when I played, like, I was an offensive lineman. So, like, my job was to make other people look good. When I was coaching, I always thought, like, at U of A, when I was coaching, like, I coached and I did the offensive line, but the large portion of my job was allowing the other coaches to have the time to actually coach, game plan, give them the players they needed to be successful. So for me, I look at this job as very similar to my previous 2 roles, in that my job is to make everyone else better. So if I can help Ed figure out a way to have the resources to make sure he can assemble the team he wants both on and off the field, if I can allow our business staff to operate, like, guys, with an actual schedule, this is our yearly schedule, this is what we do, here's our strategy going into the year. If I can set everybody up in our organization for success, I think it's very similar to the previous roles I've had. And I've always approached it that way. No matter what leadership role you're in, guys, if you're thinking that you're the one that's going to drive it all, facilitate everybody else's success, and if you can do that and you can empower everybody else to really, really buy in and do a good job, then you're going to be really successful. And I think that's what I try to do whenever I'm in a leadership role. And I think it's very similar here to what it has been in other places I've been.
You mentioned the schedule, Chris. I've been saying this for years, for a long time. I think some of the days and times absolutely stink. And I think you guys got railroaded into too many bad dates and bad times. I think Thursday night games, I mean, that's how you start things off here this last season with a home date. You have 2 Sunday night games, which to me don't make any sense at all. How can you lobby the league almost? Like, I almost go back to when Hugh Campbell was here. He said, the Eskimos play on a Friday night, and that's the way it is. How do you get back to that where they are more fan-friendly days and times?
Yeah, you know, Kevin, you'd be surprised at how little control the teams have over the schedule. Yeah. The problem is that Toronto and BC have no availability in their stadiums, none. So they basically get like maybe 12 dates a year that they can schedule football games on. So once you get into that situation, now it's very, very limited as to where everybody else can schedule. So the schedule comes out, and we went through like 4 different versions of the schedule last year. It's really, really tough right now in our league just because the availability of some of the other teams is very, very sparse. Like you look at us this year, like we had, like there's some stuff going on here with concerts and everything else where we had less available dates. So the less available dates there are just for football, now the schedule becomes a bit of a mishmash where you got to kind of live with what you get. I would say that maybe back in the day, Hugh had a little bit more say because there was a lot more, it was more just the president sitting down and sorting out the schedule. To be honest, guys, it really is just a computer generated schedule. It just gets, they put all the dates in there, it churns it out, and then we go through a bunch of different versions of it, and they're all somewhat similar, but like you just sort of talk through it, and there's not as many options as you might think. So I agree with you, Kevin. Like I was just, that's funny because I was just had a discussion with the league the other day, and I go, guys, like the home opener is a massive day. Yeah. We want a Western opponent. We don't want to play Ottawa on our home opener on a Thursday night, 3 weeks into the season. I go, we want to be able to market that. We had 2 games this year with close to 30,000 people or more. Now we need another one. And then you get another one. All of a sudden now you got half your home games, you got 30,000. Now you're starting to build something, right? But you need ways to build that momentum, and having a home opener against someone who is a Western opponent on a Saturday afternoon or a Friday night, like that's how you do it. So that's what we're lobbying for, but sometimes it's just tough.
And to Kevin's point, those 2 games where you were touching about 30K in attendance, they were both Saturday at 5 p.m.s. Kevin loves those. Those are the best times. That's funny, Kevin.
This is a whole hour show we could go on.
I know.
But go ahead, Eddie.
So, Chris, earlier in the season, the league announced that there's going to be some rules changing in the future here. I want to get your honest assessment of Commonwealth, especially with the new rules where it's going to be a shortened field. Plus, the end zones are now going to be shortened. We already know it's pretty far viewing. There's going to be even more dead space now at Commonwealth. How do you feel about that? And do you have a plan in place for what you might do with all this extra concrete laying around?
Well, my dream is to build some suites there and to have some, like, either way, whether they're temporary or permanent in those end zones. Once the end zones become shortened, we'll have some premium seating there. And premium seating really drives ticket revenue. Like if you look at, like we tried to do those upper level loges this year, those work pretty well. And I think we'll get more next year. We're going to tie it into using the Jackie Parker and make an experience out of that. That end zone seating with some elevated seating that'll be actually a little bit even closer to the stands, I think gives us an opportunity to do some pretty good things there. Looking at how we're going to use that upper deck moving forward as we fill up the lower deck, and how we're going to create some premium seating there and some, I think more. It's hard to create premium seating in an older stadium, but you can create premium experiences, right? And some different things for different people in different sections of the stadium. But that space behind the end zones, Eddie, I think that's premium seating for sure. We just got to figure out the way we're going to do it and how we're going to build it and be cost effective and all those different things.
And one last one for you, Chris. I know when you told the story about Larry Thompson approaching you and saying, would you like to be involved with this vision moving forward? I think it's safe to say, I think it's fair for me to say that you believed in that vision. Now that vision, is it still the same with the Thompson family because of the unfortunate passing of Larry, and just so sad that he could not see this dream of his, come to fruition? Maybe just speak to how, their organization is going to be going forward without Larry here.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it breaks my heart for Larry because he loved this. Like he just loved it. Like he would have been in on all this stuff right now. We're doing all the postseason stuff and talking through where we are as an organization. And this would have been like Candyland for him, right? And I think you look at the family and you look at Deb, and she really likes it. It's not quite the same for her. Like Larry was just he grew up in Commonwealth Stadium, right? So, but for Deb, she loves it as well, but just in a little bit different way. And her kids also are very engaged. So I think there's going to be a great vision for how we're going to go forward. I think we do have to sort of sort through what that's going to be. And I think everybody's intent is to continue with Larry's vision for what it was, but that's going to evolve. I think there's other people involved. And I think as we look through how the family decides to be, involved with what we do here from a football standpoint, whether it just be from an ownership or a governance standpoint, or whether it be from in in a more detailed way and a more day-to-day thing. I think we'll have to work through what that's going to look like. But I do think there's a strong passion by the rest of the family to continue. And I think it will continue with the family. It's going to just look a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Chris, thanks so much. Always enjoy our conversations. Can't wait to speak in person again. You can already feel like everyone wants another season to start here right away. That's how I'm feeling after this. So thanks for doing this, and continue turning this thing around, because there's a lot of fans that want to see it. Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's Chris Morris, CEO, president of the Edmonton Elks, and our headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, your top defense pairing against leaks. That's mrrooter.ca. Well, Eddie, any the takeaways? Chris is a straight shooter.
I was just going to say the honesty. I love the honesty, the transparency, the rawness.
Yeah.
He just keeps it real. And what he said about the business, Kevin, you know business. Yeah. You've done so much business in your life. And I'm a salesman, and I go door to door, and I cold call, not as much anymore, but I cold call still, stay sharp with the skills.
Yeah.
And it's all relationship. And that's what I tell people.
Yeah.
Life is only about relationship, man. Nothing else. It's only about relationship.
So now you've got, like, as he said, they're happy with where they are with those relationships with, say, the corporate community,
partners.
If you want to call that partners. Yep. Now you got to get the boots on the ground with the fans. And that has a lot to do with the days, the times, experience.
When I saw the graphic of each team's attendance for their home games, and I saw Edmonton, and then two really pop out, 30K.
Yep.
Saturday 5 p.m. Of course, it's against rivals, Calgary and the Riders, but still Saturday 5 p.m. There's no
the Labor
denying.
Day rematch, and it's Saskatchewan.
But still,
you gotta have Saskatchewan or BC here for the home opener, and it can't be on a Thursday night.
No. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I really am. I was against it, and I fought it because as a player, you don't pay attention to dates and times. It doesn't matter. You're showing up to play the game.
Exactly.
But it does matter to people. It does matter for people coming in and traveling. It affects things.
Yeah.
And again,
if you've got you got Saskatchewan here for your home opener, well, you don't want it on a Thursday night. Sorry.
No, you don't.
You can't, because you're even on a Friday, Friday night. Okay. Maybe, now you're going to have some fans that are still going to make the trip from Saskatchewan. They're not coming on Thursday.
No.
So thanks to Chris, thanks to Michael Arcuri for facilitating that. And again, we'll have Ed Hervey on sometime as the week progresses. And, now we can get into the nuts and bolts of roster
players,
construction, Yep. And Ed had some comments, on Saturday. I don't know if you read them all or
I caught most of it.
Yeah. So he's got decisions to make. That's
what job, baby.
That's why you're in the chair. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. We'll probably bust down the Oilers a little bit more here, talk about what happened last night. Blue Jays in action, game 3. It's Scherzer versus Glass now. And you can hear the game right here on Sports 1440 at 6 o'clock. It's a Kevin Karius show with the Duke of Delburne and Eddie Steele on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice. EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365. UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking. Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service. Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project. Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Whoa, who took off all the lights? Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right? Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Did you know The Brick is proudly Canadian-owned and operated? We started right here in Canada over 50 years ago. Now, our 5,000 team members are proud to be your neighbor in more than 200 communities across Canada. And we support all Canadians with a growing selection of quality-made Canadian products and manufacturers. Nobody knows more about furnishing Canadian homes at the guaranteed lowest price than us. The Brick, saving you more.
Visit thebrick.com and use our store locator to find a Brick store near you. Need the perfect ride? The Golf Cart people have it. They offer a wide selection of new and used models from top brands like Club Car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go. Whether it's a lifted cart for adventure or a sleek ride for the course, they'll find your match. Customize with accessories or choose a ready-to-go option. Trusted by Albertans since 1997 for quality. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road or fairway your way.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality online slot games, including the world-renowned progressive jackpot slot Mega Moolah. Play for free at jackpotcity.net and get treated as a VIP 24/7. So visit jackpotcity.net today on your tablet, laptop, or mobile. Jackpot City, a whole world of casino games. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. This is not a gambling website.
The Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 747 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius Show is presented by our title sponsor, Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. We got NFL, Monday Night Football. I think we'll be giving away a $50 gift certificate from first round tonight. Why not? We'll do it for, you can go tonight. You can go whenever you want, but we'll give it away this morning at some point. Something to do with National Tight End Day. Why not? Why not? But the Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. I had 2 tickets yesterday. Well, my own personal one, Eddie. I always just do 4 ties.
Oh, you do, eh?
I do.
I like it.
Yeah, but
I like that.
It's $20 and whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, if you look at the last 2 weeks, ties are few and far between. I mean, besides the Cincinnati Jets game, can't remember if there's one last night or yesterday.
Yesterday, no, I don't.
Not a whole hell of a lot.
There was, you said aside from the Cincinnati, there was some wild spreads going into yesterday as well.
Okay.
Eh?
I mean, I don't see any
and it held
tie.
up. Like these spreads held up. There were some big
There
margins.
were no ties.
10 points is the smallest margin I've seen here.
Yeah, there's only one tie in Sports Select last night, and that's the Cincinnati Jets.
Other than the Jets game, 10 points. Wow, tight. That Jets one. Can't believe it. Can't believe it.
I mean, I can't pick my nose anymore. How about Myles Garrett? 5 sacks. And they lose by
what
19.
a game! I know.
He's almost
personal
like
performance. Go on.
Well, I think he's in the same boat like when guys like, well, now it's Flacco, but Burrow would be sitting on the sidelines going, okay, I just put up 35 points and we're losing or we're going to lose or whatever. Myles Garrett's going, okay, I just racked up 5 sacks and we're going to lose by 19.
Now, I'd love to hear Duke's opinion on this because Myles Garrett just signed a big contract in the offseason. And in the offseason, he talked about, wanting to be in Cleveland, this and that. And he's going to be doing his thing. Oh, Duke's not even back there. I just see the Duke. That ain't Duke.
Yeah.
But here he is in the media now, after this game, all sour and salty, 5 sacks on a terrible team. Duh. This is what you signed a 4-year extension to. You knew that. Like, you completely knew that going into it. What's he
So-
making too? Like 40
Oh,
a season?
Yeah. He's right. And I'll tell you what, I watched TJ Watt last night. He ain't worth that anymore either.
He looked a little slow off the edge.
The face mask penalty. He had one good bull rush that I saw the whole entire game, and that's it.
Yeah, he didn't look very crisp off
He's
the
old.
edge. Yeah.
He's got a lot of miles.
Yeah, it's pretty
You paid for
interesting.
what he did.
30 years old and just looks slow and not getting off the block. That's what I noticed the most is when guys they engage and they're not getting off quick. They just stay engaged like glue.
Arcan Rob texts in and says that ridiculous Jets game cost my buddy $2,000 in a 6-game parlay.
Oh,
let's
you
You guys are saying like the Jets should have been the pick. Come on,
It's foul.
Um,
How about that Scattaboo injury? That's tough to see, yeah. Especially with all the hype around the kid, him and Dart.
Well, but you
past
think
couple
so
weeks.
you lose neighbors, you lose Scatterable. You get absolutely royally screwed on a call where it should be a fumble.
Yes.
Never
Absolutely.
mind a first down.
Absolutely.
I mean, unbelievable.
I'm done with the tush push.
I'm done with it. Like, I mean, even last night in last night's game, that offside, that, you know, I'm not saying it had a bearing on what would have happened. in
That
the
was
game.
bad though.
I mean, that is so blatantly.
Yeah.
And I mean,
You got
Rodgers is going, okay, free play.
Totally. You got two line judges, one on each side of the field, watching, staring down that line.
Speaking of calls or maybe lack thereof or wrong calls, go back to Friday night's Eskimo or Elks game.
Yep.
With Justin Rankin.
Ooh.
So, like, that's the. I mean, first of all, you gotta. It's this.
You got to jump on the ball. And,
Well, no, but I mean, you gotta just run. I don't think he was running as hard. Like,
No, you got to. I hear
You
you,
know what I'm
but that
saying?
guy made a hell of a
I'm
play,
sure he
KK.
did, but-
And if you watch the highlight, because we broke this down on Elks Nation,
okay.
I mean, he shook a DB. That was the juke he put on a guy before he fumbled the football.
Lance Robinson.
It was disgusting. Like it was so sick, Kevin. And then maybe you could go balls to the wall to
So
the
that's
end zone, but
Bailey
he thought he
Devine
was
Scott,
there.
right? Bailey Devine Scott punched it.
And that was a great play defensively. Now,
so
Rankin, don't go because he looked at it. He thought about going to get it, but then he just, I'm gonna keep celebrating. So get jump on the ball, but B, all his teammates ran right over the football. There's like 4 or 5 guys who had an opportunity to get it, and then a Calgary guy picks it up.
So the play wasn't whistled before the Calgary guy picked it up.
No, it's bad. Bad awareness, bad football awareness. It's bad football awareness. There's nothing else to say. It's bad football awareness. And he looked at it, and I'm not. This isn't me saying rank. This is bad.
I misspoke there. The play was whistled dead. The play was whistled dead before Calgary jumped on the ball.
It was a fumble.
I get it, but plays whistled dead.
Oh, I wasn't there.
Okay, plays
See, it
whistled
was
dead.
interesting watching on TSN because on TSN, they and me and Declan talked about this. They did, unless I completely missed it, I don't believe I did. They didn't show the replay of the Calgary guy getting the ball.
Right, because play was whistled dead. The Calgary guy just picked the ball up.
So, are you sure it was whistle dead?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Well, that's what. Yes.
Because clearly it wasn't if they gave Calgary possession.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This was a massive screw up by the officiator.
Yeah, but this was a fumble. It was a fumble. It wasn't even close. It was a fumble.
And Kevin, like, even if plays are whistled dead, if there's a clear and obvious recovery, that can be overturned on review.
Okay. Well, they didn't overturn it. Like, they didn't do anything. It was a mess.
It was, but this is the Double E's fault. Zero football awareness. They got to jump on that ball. Yeah, because it was a clear fumble. It was a hell of a defensive play coming off a hell of a juke by Rankin.
There was a game earlier. It happened against Winnipeg. The Bombers fumbled, and the play was blown dead. A touchdown was taken off the board. So I mean, I'd have to stack up the plays side by side. Again, because of where, I mean, the Jays were on and like everything.
There's so much going on, man. And the Jays, we haven't even talked about the Jays this morning, Kevin. I can't wait for tonight, man.
It's going to be great.
Mad Max. I hope he
Well,
goes cross-eyed.
I just hope that he has controlled emotion.
Yes.
You know, whatever's balled up in there, just control it.
Keep it bottled up in that arm.
Oh, just and throw some darts.
Man, it's going to be epic. I can't wait. I've never watched baseball this intently before.
Doug says, Eddie, quick question. What would happen on that play if the referees picked up the ball? Huh. It was a mess.
It was a mess. I don't have an answer for that. I truly don't have an answer, but the fact is the Calgary guy had the awareness to pick it up, and it was Calgary ball.
Coming up top of the hour, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet, also Alan Mitchell. You hear him every day, 12 to 2, the lowdown with Low Tide. Also Jensen Lewis in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll really bust down this Major League Baseball game, number 3 of the World Series. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, safety, time tracking, and materials management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is Sam, the record man.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Oilers drop a second straight on the West Coast, falling 4-3 to the Canucks in overtime. Edmonton erased a 3-1 third period deficit before losing in the extra frame. Leon Draisaitl netted 2 goals in what was his 800th career game. 7 other games around the NHL, including the Devils rattling off an 8th straight win, 4-3 over Colorado. Tampa beat Vegas 2-1. Winnipeg fell to Utah 3-2, and Calgary topped the Rangers 5-1. The Edmonton Oil Kings dropped the third straight yesterday, losing 3-2 to the Calgary Hitmen. And a rare Sunday game in the AJ saw Devon beat Drayton Valley 6-4. In the NFL, Week 8 action had Miami stun the Falcons 34-10. Buffalo beat Carolina 40-9. Philly with some revenge over the Giants 38-20. The Jets pick up their first win of this season, getting past the Bengals 39-38. And on Sunday Night Football, the Steelers could not get Aaron Rodgers a win over his old club. Packers win 35-25 in Pittsburgh. In the college ranks, LSU has fired head coach Brian Kelly. Kelly was in the midst of his 4th season, filing a record of 34-14, but never made a college football playoff. 9 games on the hardwood yesterday, including the Toronto Raptors losing to the Mavs 139-129. Victor Wembanyama had a 31-point double-double to lift the Spurs to a 118-107 win over Brooklyn, and the Knicks fell to Miami 115-107. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, and this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilness.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost. 1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month at St. Albert Dodge. Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep, it's a 4x4, and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touch screen, keyless entry, and heated front seats, all starting from just $34,900. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Greger Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House. Indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregerpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Canada, Crave is now the exclusive streaming home of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Let me hear you if you want to win. Two of the most iconic game shows in television history.
You never know what's going to happen around here.
Stream new seasons next day on Crave.
I'm excited already.
Plus, dive into a massive library of classic episodes, which include Canadian legend Alex Trebek.
Answer. Daily Double.
Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 801 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram. We got Josh Fenwick and Sam the Record Man also in the Sports 1440 studios here at West Edmonton Mall. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. 0% for 84 months on half-ton trucks at Northgate. Man, is that even a thing? Even Mike told me to read it twice. Old Mikey Lowe. That's what he says, so you got to do it. Go find out for yourself. Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC, as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec. How much TV did you watch this weekend?
Oh, a little bit of TV this weekend for sure. Saw the World Series games, saw both the Oilers games. Didn't watch any NFL, I might say, but yeah.
But you were in Jasper, so how did you facilitate this with your beautiful weekend with Shelka? How were you able to have that balance, Spec?
I've got a very understanding wife. That's how about that. Listen, when you marry a hockey writer, he has to watch hockey. That's how it works. Right. And to be honest, she's like everyone else. She's kind of getting on the Blue Jays bandwagon too. So the Blue Jays were fun. The Oilers not so much. And here we are Monday morning.
So you watched both Jays games in Jasper?
No, we didn't go to Jasper till Saturday morning.
Okay.
So we watched the Jays game Friday night.
Yeah.
And then we'll wheel home this afternoon and we'll stop at our son's house. And I suggest the Jays game will be on at 6:00 there. So
I would imagine it will be.
Yeah, I'd imagine it will be. So yeah, we've had a nice little weekend up here in Jasper. Weather's been good. It's been beautiful here. Shelka's birthday weekend, so it's been real nice.
Ooh, happy birthday to her.
What'd you pick? What'd you buy her, Spec?
Oh, we did a little shopping here. Let's just say that.
It's a Spec, man. She's got enough license plates with her names on it from the gift shop. Come on.
Shopping in Jasper. It's nice happy to leave a little money behind in Jasper. They're kind of getting over the hump up here from the fire. Yeah. But there's still lots to do, man. There's lots to do. We all look at a fire like that and we all hum and haw and say, oh, poor Jasper. And now it's, going to be 2 years later or whatever it is. And they're still nowhere close to where they used to be. Yeah. So if you get a chance,
did you go walking around, Spec, like come up areas where you could really see where it went through? Like, I mean, maybe closer to JPL is what I'm thinking, or where did you go?
No, the other end of town.
Even at the one side of town. Yeah.
When you go out to Marmot, it's that end of town. So what's that? South north? That'd be the west end was the worst. They say the JPL golf course actually worked as a bit of a fire break. And saved that end of town to some extent.
It did.
They got pounded pretty good too.
They did, but
I could see how it would act as that break for sure. a lot of the trees, especially on the property, got pounded. I was just out in Jasper myself a couple weeks back for work, and I drive through the town all the time because I do business with quite a few different facilities like the hospital and nursing homes and whatnot. And yeah, that one end of town, it's amazing how it's just decimated. And then the other end of town is, essentially normal as you're pulling in with all the hotels and stuff, that first part of town.
Yeah, a lot of people still living on Atco trailers here.
Yes.
Which can't be a lot of fun. And anyway, everyone's trying to get back on their feet. It's still my favorite little mountain town up here. That'll never change. So that's like I say, if you get a chance to come to Jasper, a little holiday, it's still lots of fun. There's still lots going on. The food here is good. There's lots of fun to be had. So don't forget about old Jasper.
Yeah.
Plans.
Okay, Romeo, what do you think of the Oilers game last night?
Well, I mean, you're a pretty bad team if you can't beat that Vancouver lineup, right? Let's face it. They're running out. I mean, they didn't even have Quinn Hughes, their best player. They lost 3 in a row, and they're running out centers. Elias Pettersson, Lucas Reichel, Atu Ratu, and Max Sasson. 3 of those guys you could argue are quasi NHLers. So, the Oilers were, in the end, I think you might say that having gotten into overtime, they were sort of a victim of many things, but one of them was Thatcher Demko was just outstanding, as he always is. It kind of reminds me, guys, of the Kiprasov years in Calgary. That Calgary team was no better than Edmonton in those terrible Oiler years, but they had a great goalie, and they beat Edmonton most times, and they'd finish 8 points, 10 points ahead of Edmonton because they had the goaltender. Thatcher Demko's that guy in Vancouver right now. He's just better than anything the Oilers can throw at him.
I agree with you to an extent there. Demko was really good last night, and Cal Pickard made some good saves too. There's just certain areas again, Spec, where and I touched on this off the top, and I threw this at Eddie because we've talked about this for probably 2 years now, that the team is a switch flipper. And when they get into that mode, and like last night, they flipped that switch in the third period, did they not? Because they came back and they salvaged a point out of this. But in the first period, Vancouver was, they were the better team. Halfway, they could have been 3-0 easily. A hair, it's 3-0. They were the better team until the Oilers flipped the switch. So there's so many mistakes that I see, tiny little ones. Like even on that first goal, that's a long hope pass by Wallman, Spec. It's a long hope pass, and then you go off for a change, and you leave your other guys out to dry, and that's Wallman and Ekholm. So there's things like that you got to correct those little things, and they haven't done that yet this year.
No, a lot of guys playing bad hockey.
Yeah,
we can't blame Ekholm's play last night on having an unpredictable partner in Bouchard. Those guys have been so bad together, they finally broke them up. So, and Ekholm wasn't good last night. Let's face it. Kiefer sure would walk through him for that goal. That's a huge goal. Edmonton just makes it 2-1. There's 45 seconds left in the period, and your shutdown defenseman gets walked by Kiefer Sherwood, who's having a nice year and all that, but he's you're not getting dangled by Alex Mogilny here.
Yeah.
I am going to say this though. Listen, we know they're not playing any good, and as a team, and we know that individually there's a bunch of guys that haven't found it yet and aren't playing well. I get it. I'm not breaking any ground here, but what I do want to say is to have your best period and to rescue that game. So in the third period, let's go back here. This team just played 7 of 10 in the road. They're going bad. It's a bad time. They just played 8 games in 8 different cities in 3 time zones. And this was the second of a back-to-back of an 8-game thing that started in the East, rolled back home for one night, and then ended in the West. So in the third period of all of that, after a back-to-back and blah, 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 they pulled that game out of the fire. I thought the third period they had was to have that period at that point in your schedule, that deserves mentioning. I get it. They're no good right now. I'm not saying they are, but pulling that period out of your hat at the end of that 8-game road trip, anyone who's ever been on something like this, where you're traveling every second day, where your new time zone every day, where your body clock's waking you up at 8:30 in the east and 5:30 in the west. That period at that time showed me something that it's not gone forever, boys. It's in there somewhere.
Points.
Before I pass this, Teddy, again, to an extent here, Spec. The Vancouver Canucks basically just did the same thing.
Yep, I know.
I mean,
But
they were
home for a few days.
They started in Dallas. They went to Chicago. Then they go out to the East Coast. And they got Washington, Pittsburgh, then go all the way down south to Nashville. They come back and they had a back-to-back with Montreal and then the Oilers. So it's the same
and
thing.
they ran out of gas in the third period, and the Oilers didn't.
I agree. And no Quinn Hughes and 4 or 5 other regulars.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for a bright side here. That's all.
And they're stealing points. Look, they are. They're playing stinky hockey and they're still stealing points. What are they? They're sitting 5th in the division. And I mean, the standings aren't something that you're going to be staring at right now, but you are still taking note of where you sit and take where you stand. But Spec, I wanted to ask you this. You too, KK. Early in the second period, there's a PK. And on the PK, they roll out Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, and Matthias Ekholm. Not your traditional PK unit that you would see. What's the reasoning behind that, fellas?
What do you think, Kev?
Well, trying to look for a spark. You're trying to, if there's a chance that you can maybe generate some offense somehow. That's what you're looking for. I mean, I think Chris Knobloch is searching for so many things here, Spec. You mentioned, I mean, like Nurse and Bouchard were pretty good together last night.
Yeah.
But he's still searching for so many things, and that's just one of them. That's what I think. I think he's exhausting absolutely everything that he can think of to try to generate something.
Yeah, he's got a team that's not playing well, that's at the end of a long run. The other guys they don't have Quinn Hughes on the blue line. So the guy up there isn't as familiar, isn't as used to it. And you feel like if I put some pressure on these guys, maybe I can get a mistake out of them. Maybe I can find a 2-on-1 here. Yes, I agree, Eddie. The priority in PK, in my opinion, is keeping the puck out of your net, not putting it in the other guy's net. But there's a coach just searching for it. He sees a chance where maybe he can find something, right? Find a McDavid Draisaitl 2-on-1. That's all he's doing. He's if they're going good, he's not taking that risk, right? If the goals are coming, he doesn't have to do that. But he's not getting any goals at even strength. And at that point, I mean, I don't even know if they'd scored a goal yet at that point. I don't think they had. He's just trying to light a match, man. He's trying to get something going with his lineup.
Mm-hmm. Eddie, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, he's pulling at anything. It's interesting that you're going to be putting your essentially best offensive unit out there for the PK. That's,
but again,
I get it though. Hey, I get it. I got when they put Connor McDavid out, especially last year, because there was some success, but this year it's just not there. Overall, let's talk about the decor, fellas. Where do you guys stand with this decor, and do you foresee any pairings that you could see have some potential success?
No, boy.
Well, let me just talk about Wallman again, and he's just back here. So, I mean, he's, you always use that phrase, Spec, about jumping on the moving train. So he's only played a handful of games here. So, but I really thought that their thinking would be that he would be settling things down. And in fact, I think it's been the opposite. I mean, the pairing Wallman and Ekholm last night was really, really poor. So, and I mean, when Wallman was with Nurse, they weren't getting anything done either. So I think they're waiting for Wallman to get back to where they want his game to be. Would that be fair, Spec?
Oh, for sure. They're waiting for Wallman to find his game. They're waiting for Bouchard to find his game. The steadiest pairing on this team has been Kulak and Emerson. It's your third pairing. And if I always say this, right? If your best player is some third or fourth line guy, you're probably not a very good team. So, they're waiting for Ekholm to find his game. I think Nurse in the top four has been their best guy. It's pretty clear to me he's been their best guy. So yeah, a team is a component of each individual player, and you pick your players one by one, and then you say, I like this player, we're going to sign that guy, we're going to go out and get Wallman, and then they all got to come together and be a team. And if individually guys are playing way below their capability and they're not playing well, then turning them into a team is really hard.
Yeah.
The team part is predicated on guys playing somewhere near the top of their capability. And we're just not getting that. There's too many guys playing awful hockey to say, well, this line should work. Well, Connor McDavid's line doesn't work when he struggles the way he struggled last night. Like, he made a really nice play to Draisaitl on a power play tying goal, but the rest of the night, he just struggled. It's Connor McDavid. He's the best player in the world, but he wasn't very good last night by his standards. So don't talk to me about his line when the best player on it's playing like that. You can't, Eddie, you can't form a team around that level of Connor McDavid, can you?
No, you can't. And that was going to be my next point. And that's just the reality of it. We're talking about the stinky play of this team. It's led by Connor McDavid. And, he's got 12 points in 10 games. That's not stinky, but by his standards, that's not it. And the team follows its leader. Check this out, fellas. The top point getters on this team through 10 games. Connor has 12, only 1 goal. Leon has 11. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has 11 as well. Then it falls off a cliff to Darnell Nurse with 5. So you need more production as a whole from this team, led by Connor, led by him scoring some goals too, because just getting the apples isn't going to get it done all year.
Yeah. Frederick probably had his best game of the year last night. No spec.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying for sure. At least you noticed him out there. Like,
hits, right? He got involved.
It's here we are 10 games in, and we're finally finding a good game out of Trent Frederick. He's, joined the club, right? Toss that guy on the pile of players who weren't ready to play in game 1, but here we are in game 10 and we're starting to see him.
Yeah. Roslovic scored against Montreal, right? That one save. That was a pretty good save.
Sorry?
Roslovic against Montreal. He had a chance to make it 4-1.
He's been bringing a little. There's another guy missed so much time, never had a camp or anything. So, sure. Like, it can't be up to the big boys every night. Everybody else got to help too here. So, your young guys, Howard and Savoy, on one hand, I say, like, you better not be counting on those guys. It's their first tour through the NHL. And on the other hand, I say, we're 10 games in and their production's been almost nothing. Tomaszek, where are we at the 10-game mark on Tomaszek? Is this guy going to help? I'm not sure he's going to help. Like, if he's going to be a third, fourth line player, that's not who I want him on this team with this lineup. I don't want a fairly light playing, non-physical, older European guy on my third or fourth line. That's not who my fourth line center or wherever he played last night should be. So, we're 10 games in. When do we start making some actual, some reviews here? When do we start looking at these guys and saying, okay, it's time to make some decisions? Probably not quite yet, but I think I can see it from here. Can't you guys?
Well, we're going to see what happens come November 1st, because if some people think that Zach Hyman's ready to go, how long is it going to be till he gets up and running? Been 5 months.
You got to give him lots of time. Like, that's another guy. He's going to come in and he's going to have to take his time. So yes, there's this lineups. You know what? And I guess I'd say this to you guys. We all agree they're playing awful, and as a team and individually. And that's probably the best start they've had in 3 years.
Exactly.
They're 500, and they've had a bitch
thing.
of a road trip here, and they got another one coming up in 2 weeks.
So I think the last 2 years they started out worse than this and went to the Stanley Cup final. So keep that in mind as well.
Hey, sorry, Kevin. Before we let Spec go, real quick, I'm going to abuse Spec here and use him. Yes, because hey, Spec, on the studio for your hits, we have something called the Spec Spike. So I'm going to take advantage of the Spec Spike here this morning. And I was told by my wife to put it out there. We're looking for a woodworker to build some custom floating shelves for our kitchen. We're getting our kitchen renoed. So for all you listeners out there during the Spec Spike, I'm looking for some help out here. So text in, help a brother out. Thank you, Mark Spector.
I thought you were going to ask Spec to do it.
No, I'm just I'm using the Spec Spike.
Wow. Shells, floating shells. Most guys would build those for their wife themselves, Eddie.
I'm not that guy, man. I know my limits.
I'll come over and do it.
I had to.
Oh boy. All right, Spec.
Oh boy, Eddie.
Talk to you tomorrow, Spec. That's
all right, boys.
On the mark Brought to you by, powered by Northgate Chevrolet, Buick GMC. This truck's for you. When we come back, Alan Mitchell with us. It's Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Get ready, Edmonton. Glow Christmas Festival returns to light up the Edmonton Expo Center from December 4th to 31st with dazzling activities for the entire family. Wander the glowing trails, meet Santa in his sleigh, and shop from over 30 local artisans and vendors with handcrafted gifts and holiday treasures, perfect for everyone on your list. Get your tickets and learn more about what's on this season by visiting the calendar of events at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show. Powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:23 in Edmonton time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. If you've been putting off all your tire changeover, well, don't, because Fountain Tire has up to 15% off select tires right now. You roll in, you save big, and drive out ready for whatever the season will throw at you. Check them out at fountaintire.com as we welcome in Alan Mitchell. You hear him every day, 12 to 2, the lowdown with Low Tide. Good morning, Tide.
How are you, sir?
Well, you're with Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele on a Monday morning. Thanks for sliding back to the 8:20. Well, first of all, I wanted to give you a little more of a rest because I think the last time we had some problems, you know.
Wow. Did I get demoted from the 7:20? Is that what happened here?
No, what happened was Chris Morris said 7:20 is good for me. And I said, well, you know, probably try to snag him, you know, why not?
Well, you know, football players they're tough, man. I wouldn't say no to anything.
Low Tide, is it demoted or promoted now? Come on, that 8:20 slot. People want to hear you now. Come on. Prime time drive.
I'll be honest, boys. I do a hit with the Red Deer FM station at around the time 7:20 hits, so it made it easier to spaced out by about an hour, right? And the good thing is I have no memory, so I don't remember what I said in that first segment.
Well, I do those Camrose hits at 6:30 Tide.
Listen, you know what? You got a better garden. You grew up on a farm. You walked uphill both ways. I understand. Karius.
Welcome to my world, Low Tide.
So, I mean, these were late nights for you, Tide, because, I mean, the Elks game, the two Oiler games, right till 11 o'clock, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, it's been crazy. Last night, I had to get to bed because it was late, and I wasn't done. The Athletic article wasn't quite done that'll come out today about Vasily Podkolzin, but I had to go to bed. So I went to bed. I slept. I got up at 5:30, and I finished it. And this is the kind of routine I'm on. Having said that, I was wildly entertained by all of the games. I feel like I know the Elks lost. I understand. I know it's a disappointing year, but boys, you go back to when COVID hit and they had to, signed a bunch of players, they had coaching, and that moved away. It's been like Chaos Incorporated. This was a good year. It was.
What'd you make of the game last night in Vancouver? Oilers 4-3 loss in overtime, but again, it's been a long haul here, and from one country end of the country to the other, but they pick up a point after being down 3-1 into the third period. So 4-4-2 at the 10-game segment. It hasn't been exactly a pretty start, but it's been better than the last 2 years too.
Yeah, they're finding their way now. The Mangiapane, McDavid, Nuge line were really strong last night. They were not lucky, but they were really strong. And then Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Roslovic, they were good, and then they were a little bit lucky. They got a couple of goals. Bouchard had a great pass. I worry a little bit about Savoy and Howard. I don't like them on the fourth line with a period center in Tomasic. But having said that, I think Chris Knobloch, who has coached the team to Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row, he's figuring out the forward group. I think Bouchard with Nurse has looked good. I suspect they'll go back to Ekholm Bouchard when everything settles down. But there are good signs. They started poorly, I thought, and they've been doing that lately. But a rambunctious comeback. All the things that I could say they should improve are just silly things that people say, like McDavid should shoot more. Well, yes, he should. But I mean, he's the best player on the planet. So I'm just going to say, I think this Edmonton Oilers team have found out some things about themselves during a very difficult period. And I suspect we'll see the awards come here in the next 10 games.
Low Tide, in your answer just now, you laid out a couple of different D pairings, and the D pairings have been chaos, to say the least, so far right now in this point in the season. And then you use the term settle. Now, do you think, and if you can go over those pairings again, do you think that can settle their game down a little bit on the D back end?
Yeah, I do. I think that Nurse always plays best with a really good outlet passer, and Bouchard is that. Nurse and Bouchard have played well together in the past. Wallman is, we're still finding out about him, but he and Ekholm. Ekholm's game is not where it should be, and I don't know why. He's a veteran guy, but maybe he's still struggling from the remnants of last year's injuries. One player that I didn't mention earlier, Ty Emberson with Kulak. I think Emberson's really coming on. He played well last night on the penalty kill, especially made a couple of really strong moves. I think the Oilers defense, I know this sounds ridiculous, but I think the Oilers defense is going to be very good come playoff time if everybody's healthy. But there's just been some weirdness. Bouchard, when chaos enters his game, it's always there. But when it sort of takes over, it's difficult, right? And so I think they just need to settle their game down, calm their game down, and they also have been playing in some terrible luck. Their shooting percentage when they're on the ice together, Ekholm and Bouchard, is 1%. Their PDO, which should be around 100, that's the average, is at 1%. So the regression will come for that pairing but I think giving them a breather was probably a good idea. And Nurse Bouchard were quite good last night.
Nurse and Bouchard, I was thinking, man, these are two guys tied, and you would say this because you get all the texts that get the most grief on the back end. It's not even close.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So when they got put together, I was like, this could be bad or it could be good. And they were really good last night. That pass that Bouchard made to Draisaitl on the game's first goal that's at another level, man.
Yeah, that's how you pass the puck, though,
That's
right?
right. Just the left shot, though. That's the difference. Just the left-handed shot.
Man, you're a suicide bomber.
No way.
Get
man.
out of here.
I'll feed you up the middle anytime.
But yeah, you would right
Why
into a
wouldn't I?
D, man.
So?
Get my face chewed off.
Well,
Hey,
Suicide
Eddie,
pass.
Eddie, remember he's got a garden. You got to be nice to him, you know?
And he makes everything homemade from scratch, Low Tide.
That's right. Self-sustainable, Eddie.
Love you, man.
But no, I mean, that was an unreal pass, Tide, in the sense that got the Oilers back in it. And then, to give up that 3-1 goal with 40-some seconds left, that's the killer. That's the killer, And then you're just clawing and clawing and clawing in the third period.
Yeah, it is, and I know people like to blame the goaltending, but the coverage has been like the coverage on the first goal. Where was the F1 on that? I mean, the coverage wasn't good, and they have these lapses. There's a I always say single events can have enormous importance and still be single events, and that's kind of the Oilers. Their Corsi, their shots, their Fenwick, all of those are really good. But these single events where there's a lapse that you don't pick up your man, they end up costing them. And I know goaltenders should stop a lot of pucks, but they do. And I just think that the Edmonton Oilers are figuring some stuff out. And with Bouchard, I think part of it's confidence. So that pass probably, hopefully, will be sending him in a good direction. He's a wonderful player, but he does have chaos in his game.
Yeah, get you on that. Hopefully that, triggers something. That first goal, to me, that's, a lot is on Wallman on that. That's a hope pass that's diagonally across, I don't know, 70, 80 feet. And then both Wallman and Ekholm go off for a change, and play reverses quickly because it's intercepted. And, 10 seconds later, less than 10 seconds, the puck's in the back of your net.
Who was the center on that play, though? Was it Tomasic? I can't remember.
Yeah, but I think he's coming off on a change too, Tide.
Okay. Well, then, I'll look at it again because, I mean, sometimes you just, a word I can't say on the radio happens sometimes, and that may have been it. And line changes are a beast too. They are on the, they cause a lot of chaos. But overall, I was encouraged by both games this weekend by the Oilers. They're fighting it, and number one fighting it is the best player. And when McDavid starts filling the net, they're going to win some games they shouldn't. Right now, I think they're losing some games they shouldn't.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it now again. So 14 and 96 are going off. And to be honest with you, Wallman thought there would be too many men on the ice. He actually ends up going off, on, off. And by the time Brett Kulak comes on, I mean, the puck's in the back of the net.
Yeah. It was a nice play, too. I mean, that was a nice.
It was.
That was by King. By King.
It wasn't. Yeah. Good hustle to get to that puck. And which leads me into my next question here, Low Tide. Do you think that the Oilers are maybe tired from so many games, different time zones, road trip, or maybe they're just not as fast as we thought they might be at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I think all those things are true. I think they are exhausted. I think they're overplaying McDavid and Draisaitl. They're playing way too many minutes. And they're also not trusting, Savoy was up on the big line, and then he's back on the fourth line. And I know you got to do it. You have to, go with what you think is going to work. And I think Roslovic has found a home there now with Draisaitl and Podkolzin, so you have to run that. But I don't like the two rookies on the fourth line. They have young legs. Get them involved. That will help your speed. And I just think they needed to have a little bit of a break on defense. And Nurse Bouchard, Ekholm with Wallman, despite the play that Mr. Karius described very well, I think we're good. I think they're, the Mammoths are good, folks. I mean, I know that we are not familiar with their name, but they're damn good. So that's going to be a tough test. And then I think the Rangers are going to offer this Oilers team an opportunity maybe to end the month on a positive. I think they will.
Tide, what's coming up on the show today?
Well, Rachel is not making it today.
What? Rachel who?
No.
Rachel who, Tide?
Kreishack.
There we go.
I'm telling you, people change their names, and it takes Low Tide a little while to get it right. Yeah. Karius, never change your name. It's important to me.
Yeah.
But we do have Steve Lansky and Paul Hemming from Inside the Truck podcast who will join us all for the entire show today.
Oh.
They have 75 years of live TV experience. And as a matter of fact, Paul is the responsible or partly responsible for the great Mammoth broadcast, which were rated number 3 by viewers at The Athletic in a poll. So we'll have them on. They got a lot of experience. We're going to talk about behind the scenes, not just in hockey, but in baseball and football. They have a wealth of experience in all kinds of different sports. Behind the scenes, what it takes. I want to know the difference between, like, when Lansky was doing Hockey Night in Canada and Oilers games in the 80s to where Paul Hemming is doing the Utah games now. How many more cameras? How many more people? How many more opportunities to educate are there? So we're going to talk about that. And obviously the Jays and the World Series and the Oilers on the weekend as well. So it's going to be a fun show.
Oh, that stuff's fascinating to me,
It is.
Ty, because I was so lucky to do games, with the Oilers back in the pay-per-view
That was your
days.
business, man. That was your life.
And like working with Paul Graham. I remember one time, and as a broadcaster, and Ty, you'll be the first to admit this, sometimes we all find a crutch word, and sometimes you say it too many times. And I was doing a show, a 1 hour cross-Canada show for the Edmonton Indy that ran all across Canada. Paul Graham was producing it. So I was interviewing, I think he was the head of the Indy at the time. It was right on the track. It was plus 40 on the track time. And true story, all of a sudden in my ear, Paul Graham, who does all the football, and he's one of the higher ups at TSN. And he called, like my name, he called me 360. He goes, "Hey, 360" in my ear. He goes, "No more absolutely's. No more absolutely's." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Well, after every answer, you say absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I was like,
we all have it now. Come on, Kevin.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a real quick story, and I know you got to go, but I'm going to tell you the story. I used, when I did remotes all the time at car dealerships. I paid for my house doing it, and so I would do Saturday remotes. And Troy Bowler used to set them up for me, produce them from there, and make sure you hold my hand, get me a sandwich when I needed one, and so he came to me one time. He goes, you've done 12 cut-ins, and you've said absolutely fabulous in each of every one. So he said, I'll give you $50 if you don't say absolutely fabulous in this last one. And you know what? I said absolutely fabulous 10 seconds into the last one.
Oh, man.
Just because when you say don't say something,
that's how the brain works.
That's how the brain works, baby. So I lost a chance at 50. I still regret that. That was a lot of money at the time.
Yeah.
I even find with myself, with you fellas, like once I start thinking of something and you're thinking about, don't do it. The floodgates open.
Good stuff, Tide.
That's why it's fun. Boys, be good.
Yeah, looking forward to that show today. We'll talk soon. Thanks. That's Alan Mitchell. You hear him every day, the Lowdown with Low Tide. From 12 to noon right here on Sports 1440. That was the Puck Report brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, if you've been putting off the tire changeover, don't do it. It's getting time. We're getting into November here. Fountain Tire's got up to 15% off select tires right now as well. Check them out, fountaintire.com. When we come back, we're going to be going in or out with Eddie Steele. We'll get to some of your texts and everything. 833-401-1440. It's Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele and the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select, and we're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Weekly NFL giveaways, great specials, huge screen TVs, The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night, with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You've probably heard the term supply and demand. Something is needed and someone supplies it. We're GS Construction, and we're in the supply and demand business with you. Edmonton and the surrounding area continue to grow. Infrastructure has to be continually replaced and upgraded to keep up with demand. You see it with new buildings and new roads, but what about below ground, where all sorts of pipes bring you water and take wastewater away? That's where we come in. For more on what we do, go to gsconstruction.ca.
Looking for the perfect used ride? Now's the time. Drive away for as little as $25 bi-weekly. Go Auto has over 7,500 used vehicles in stock with something for everyone. From budget-friendly cars and road trip-ready SUVs to powerful work-ready trucks. With around 70 locations across Canada, your next vehicle is closer than you think. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying for the first time, we've got the right ride at the right price. But don't wait. These deals won't stick around forever. Start shopping today at goauto.ca.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car. That's what profit shares look like for Vision Credit Union members. Each year, we return about 75% of our profits, $35 million last year, to the people who bank with us. Because at Vision Credit Union, when you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.ca.
Alan Olson Auctions presents the annual Rimbey Fall Consignment Sale. Online bidding is open right now through October 29th at alanolsonauction.com. This 5-ring sale features thousands of lots. Bid on machinery such as tractors, haying and harvest equipment, skid steers, and more. A variety of cattle handling equipment and buildings. A huge assortment of vehicles and RVs. And 2 miscellaneous rings with a variety of great finds. Don't miss the biggest sale of the season. Visit alanolsonauction.com.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:43 in Edmonton. The Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select, and it's so easy to play. All you got to do is visit sportselect.com. You generate that QR code. There are videos. It's a step-by-step process, and it's easily done. Check it out, sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or are you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke. Let her buck.
Edmonton Oilers dropping a pair of games over the weekend out on the left coast in Seattle Saturday and Vancouver last night. Team's record through 10 games is near identical to last year's at the same stage of the season. However, when you assess the team through these same 10 games, I think the confidence in the club should be lower than it was a year ago.
Take her away, big fella. Lower. What was the exact record last year after 10
4, 4, and 2.
Last
Sorry, no, that's what they are this year.
This
Last
is-
year they
yeah.
were 4, 5, and 1.
4, 5, and 1. So darn near identical.
More points.
Oh, yeah, lower. You know, I might be in on this one only because this is a way different team than last year. Like, think about it. And I mean, when you take guys like Corey Perry out,
boom, boom, boom.
You take Connor Brown out.
That's it right there.
You take
Corey.
a lot of the veteran guys that were here last year. I mean, I think some people don't like Matthias Janmark for whatever reason that they don't like him, but he does add,
Plays his role well.
He does add that presence on a fourth line that we haven't had yet when we've watched these games. Look at again that fourth line last night.
There's no dog.
There's
no dog out there.
Nothing. So
nothing.
That third line at times got hemmed in. You know, the third line with Frederick, Henrique, and Lazar. I mean, I didn't see much from Lazar last night. I'll be honest.
Not a lot of bite,
but they got hemmed in a few times. But at least they got on the body a little bit. I mean, again, Frederick had I had probably about 7 hits. I don't even know. But I'll go. Yeah, I'm going to agree just because of the personnel's different. The personnel's different.
That's where I'm at too, KK. I'm in for that. They don't need a Ryan Reeves on the roster just to be out there punching, fighting, but they need to have a little bit of grit, a little bit of, as you say in the hockey world, sandpaper. In
like that
football,
word?
we just call
What
it
did you-
dogs, man.
Dogs.
Are you a dog or not, man? Are you about that life? And they don't have a lot of guys that are, let's just say this. They don't have a lot of guys I would want to go into a street alley with. They don't.
Did you call a lot of teammates? Hey, dog. Hey, dog.
What's up, dog?
Dog.
Snoop Doggy Dog.
No, you didn't.
Come on, Kevin.
You never called anybody Snoopy.
No,
Snoop Doggy Dog.
You're absolutely right. I did
But
not.
like a lot of guys call him, hey, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Did anyone call you dog?
No. Would they call you pal?
Only Spec. Yes. Kevin is Spec's only pal.
Yeah,
He's his only one. Yeah, I'm right there with you guys in terms of like assessing the roster and yeah, the way they've played is one thing, but it's also about like projecting like, all right, are they looking like they're working their way out of it? And there are a lot of new faces on the team, and the new faces are largely inexperienced ones. David Tomaszek, yeah, a little bit older, but it's his first season in North America, first year in the NHL. Ditto goes for the likes of Matt Savoy, Ike Howard, first-year pro, who's still on the roster. I guess they're continuing to roll with him instead of assigning him to Bakersfield. And I just think like the meshing, the chemistry, not really there through the first 10 games because we always seem to think that the fallback on the nuclear option of putting Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid on the same line just solves so many problems, even if it shortens your overall depth. Well, look at the 5-on-5 production, and I wouldn't say that has necessarily been the case here so far in the early going. And the way the defense is played on collective, I have a lot of concerns about the team here through just 10 games. Lots of runway left to get it figured out. Over to the gridiron, Edmonton Elks season coming to a close with a bit of a whimper Friday night to losing to the rival Calgary Stampeders. Graydon, the season as a whole for the green and gold, I'm giving it a C+.
Ooh, go ahead, Eddie. You're the football.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give it a C+. Business ops, that's why. As a whole, if you're including football, the actual game itself, it would actually maybe even a little bit lower. But because the business ops did such a strong job at repairing the relationships, at putting on good promos, at doing their best to just kind of become relevant in the community again, that's what brings it up to a C+. Because check this out, fellas. Last year, as much flack as this team got, they were 7-11, and they had the number one offense in the CFL under Jarius Jackson. That is what it is. This year, same record, 7-11. They had the worst offense in the league this year by a landslide, especially passing. So on the field, they really, if we're looking at it, they didn't do anything differently. But it's off the field is where the optimism really begins.
That's well said. How much is this on Jordan Maksimic?
Quite a bit, I would say. You know what's crazy, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
We've been clamoring just for one small thing, for example, to see Rankin and Leak in the backfield at the same time. And they did it twice, and it was touchdowns on both times they did it. Just little things like that, man. Come on.
Yeah. I'm going to be out. I think C+ is too high. You got to make the playoffs. I mean, you have to make the playoffs. Chris said we're disappointed. So C+. And the way you do your grades, Duke, C+ and C and C-, what's the difference?
C's get degrees, baby.
C's do get degrees. A C+ would be a 2.7. GPA sorry, my apologies. A C would be a 2, a C+ would be a 2.3 or 2.4, and then a C-, because a B is a 3.
Okay.
And a B- would be 2.7.
I'd be going C- here.
Really?
Yeah, C-. And again, attendance down 7% and a little, actually 7.1, if depending on where the numbers you look at. Last year's attendance was down 17.3%. So at least it's better this year than last year. So they still have so much work to do. And again, there's a lot of like even little things, like he's talking about the ticket stuff.
Yeah.
Like Chris Morris earlier. Like how can you still have a guy sitting beside another guy that paid $150, $200
That's
more?
a real story.
That's a problem, man.
And that's even amongst my alumni friends in the circles, just the season ticket differential that guys pay. It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
I mean, when you get bumped from the top level to where now you're down 30 yards and you don't want to be there, you got to open that up. Open up the top level, just 10 rows up, 2 sections wherever around the tunnel coming out.
And that's some quality viewing right there.
It is. It's better than
it
anywhere.
is, man.
Like like anywhere from the 20-yard line in.
Color me shocked.
Especially in 2 years here. Because you want that. That's revenue that's untapped.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. If we rewind and put our perspective, like with hindsight at our side, like the expectations coming into this year, what did we want, right? We wanted the team to play meaningful games down the stretch. And I think if I recall correctly, the three of us were at least in agreement to saying, like, not really sure this is a playoff team. And you talk about coming out of the where they finished last year as, you know, another really disappointing campaign. I think the on the field product, C+, it's not exactly something to write home about. Like you said, Eddie, C's get degrees. It got the job done. They did play meaningful games down the stretch. And so I think that it's tough to get any higher than that when you do not make the playoffs and your final results are what they were. But there were a lot of positive trends and signs both off the field and on it. So that's where I landed on the C+. And Kevin, a 2.4. I just fact checked myself. 2.4 GPA is what a C+ would translate
about
to.
like the Eddie Steele average right there.
The Eddie,
what are they?
Eddie Steele special. Eddie's taking home a C+ in woodworking.
That's why I had to go to U of M, not U of A.
Last 6 games, they're 2-4.
Disappointing finish for
tough
sure.
Finish, man. It's a tough finish. And really, they were playing for the exact same stakes as they were last year down the stretch. Last year, we were hoping, could they maybe, if the numbers work out, just limp into the playoffs? It was no different this year, except last year we can say that the offense was a lot more prolific.
Yeah, this year, like the offense lived and died in the hands of Justin Rankin, and that is not an overstatement.
It did. And when the defense, by far, was the unit on this team that took the most noticeable steps in a positive direction forward.
Oh, from the start of the season to the end, without a doubt.
The defense, for sure. This team, hate to say it, but this team really was the strength of the defense, creating turnovers down the stretch, and Justin Rankin. Without that, this team has nothing.
Over to the NFL, week number 8, wrapping up tonight with a lopsided spread in the Chiefs and Commanders game. Kevin and I'm sure we'll get to that as the morning progresses. But the surprise result of yesterday, there was a lot of lopsided games, but Cincinnati losing to the New York Jets, first win of the year for New York. This is after the owner essentially called their starting quarterback terrible, and then he has to play because Tyrod Taylor's hurt or sick or whatever the heck was wrong with him. My takeaway from this,
in a ball in his closet,
during crying the week. On the hey, I actually give Fields some credit about being vulnerable and just being honest and not just canned answers. Is what we always say we want more out of athletes, and then we criticize them when they don't say what we want them to.
I'm happy with it.
He's being frank, and I think that it's some real honesty coming forth there. But my bigger takeaway with this game and the Bengals losing, Cincinnati, Zach Taylor, a couple of years removed from a Super Bowl appearance. He is the next head coach that's going to be fired.
I'll probably go out on this one only because Burrow being out. So
That buys him some time.
That goes into there. I'm not saying that he isn't going to get fired, but I'm just going because Burrow not being in the lineup, massive difference. Having said that, I mean, they're still putting up 35, 37 points, 38 points a game with Flacco. I mean, it's all on defense here. So I'm going to go maybe just the other way a little bit. So I'll go out on that, and I'll throw a name out like, how about Jonathan Gannon in Arizona? They've lost 5 in a row. He had that little thing on the sideline there with DeMarcado.
Cost him $100K.
Again, I think he's in year 3 of 5 that he signed, but that's the one where I would kind of go towards right now.
I'm going to be in, Duke. When you look at just even the overall standings and you look at the bottom feeders of the league right now, because that's typically who's looking to fire their coaches, the bottom feeders of the league. Like Aaron Glenn, he saved his butt probably with that win. So I'm going to be in.
Do you?
No, I don't firmly, passionately believe that, Kevin.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they're going to make a hasty decision coming off of a win like that. Hey, look, if they lose the next 5 straight the way they've been playing, then maybe a decision will come. But
Glenn's like, he's there, the Dan Campbell. He's there for a few years.
You believe, eh?
Yes.
So, in Tennessee, no one's going in. So, I'll be in, Duke. I'll be in.
You're right, Kevin. The offense does seem to still have some rhythm in the replacing of Jake Browning with Joe Flacco. I think serves as the obvious factor there, even at Flacco's age and limited mobility, all that stuff. He can still swing the ball. I mean, you got the talent at the receiver group like Cincinnati has. It shouldn't come as a surprise. And I know Zach Taylor is not like he's an offensive guy. That's his background. But as the head coach, he is the one hiring defensive coordinators.
Yeah.
And this defense has been a problem for this team. Consecutive seasons that they're once again statistically one of, if not the worst, depending which metrics you're using, defense in the league this year. At a certain point, there has to be accountability where you fire a DC, you fire a DC, you fire a DC. Well, you're obviously not hiring the right guys. And yes, personnel wise, they're kind of limited. Trey Hendrickson left the game yesterday, status uncertain. They drafted Shamar Stewart, but then there was the whole contract issue. He wasn't in training camp. I just think that at a certain point, the whole injury alibi for Joe Burrow in particular, because this has happened several times now, eventually that runs out. And you have to say, like, all right, well, where's the team culture that you can rally and kind of play a little bit better in spite of the fact that you don't have your best player on the field. And Joe Burrow doesn't play defense, and that continues to be where this team is most vulnerable and just downright bad, very frankly. Game 3, World Series, going tonight in Los Angeles as the series shifts to the West Coast, tied at 1 game apiece after the opening 2 in Toronto. I see a lot of people talk online about how much they like this format. I think the 2-3-2 home game format in the Major League playoffs, Major League Baseball playoffs, is terrible. I think it's no good.
I'm in. Same with NBA. It's 2-3-2
Really?
for the finals. I'm in, Duke. Man, these guys, and people talk about travel. They're not flying commercial. Like, they're not going through security. It's not long travel days.
Although if you ask
Dave Roberts,
the Canadian immigration
they got him.
service,
They did him dirty. They did him dirty.
Out to get him.
He's so like on the way back, it's American.
That's what I kind of thought
That's
when
what
he said
he
that.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
When you're going through customs the other way, you're talking to American immigration
If
officers.
anything, he should have been bitching about this on Thursday at media day.
Getting to
because
Canada.
yes, it's on the other way. He's going through American customs.
I was very confused by the comment. And then listen, he came on clarified and said he didn't mean anything by it, saying that Canada as a whole was trying to make their lives more difficult. But yeah, Kevin, I'm 100% there, 100% with you. I didn't understand the reasoning or logic.
Yeah, no, I'm in on this though. I don't like 2-3-2. The travel is not a big issue.
I'm okay with it, so I'm fine. So I'll be out. I have no problem with 2-3-2.
You're indifferent?
Yeah, I mean, I understand. So if you get a split in that first, the on the road, then you are able to wrap it up
at home.
I mean, it's hard to win no matter what, and it's baseball. I just think it's hard to win, 3-4 in a row here. The Dodgers obviously did it in the NLCS, but you know, I think this series is going to be going back to Toronto.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
It's not a huge thing, but to me, like, you play all year, and we've talked about this with the Oilers ad nauseum the past couple seasons, right? You play all year for the right to have home field, ice, court advantage in the playoffs. And the Jays have that, right? They beat them by a game. This goes back to that series in LA back in August. But getting to play 3 home games consecutive as the lower seed, that doesn't come across as advantage to the team that finished higher. And I understand it's all travel related. Time zones matter in the case of this specific circumstance, but we were a game away from being both teams in the Pacific time zone, and travel being it's a couple hour flight from Seattle to LA. And that's the thing about baseball and football, where they're not divided by geography like in the NHL and NBA. It's purely how things play out across the division. So I just don't see the need for it. Like you said, Eddie, they're not exactly toughing it back in an economy, trying to get through security and everything.
You know what, Duke? That point you just made carries lots of value.
Thank you. Thank you, Eddie. Those are kind words. Needed that this morning. Lastly, today is Wild Foods Day.
Oh boy,
this is right up the alley of particularly Kevin Karius. A true nature man.
I go last.
And Eddie, no stranger to getting out in the woods himself, getting the RV rented and set up, and then going for a little spin around the woods.
Not at all.
The best food to stumble across as you're maybe out for a little nature walk in the wild. I'm keeping it simple. I'm going with a Saskatoon bush.
Are we sticking clear of animals?
What, you find like a dead rabbit and you're just gonna take it back to the campsite and grill it up?
Nature, go fishing.
You don't even know how to fish. I gave you all my tackle. Stop. Still got it.
If we're keeping it to like vegetation and plants and stuff like that, I'll say some wild raspberries.
Raspberries. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very partial to Saskatoon berries.
So good.
Quick sidebar on that show alone, Eddie. How many days could you last?
Oh boy, we get 10 items. I think they get.
I don't know what. I don't know if it's.
I've never seen this show.
You haven't, Duke? You would love it.
I've seen but I've watched
these
Naked
shows.
and Afraid. You seen that one? That one is so funny.
You sicko.
What?
I'm kidding. If I have something to create fire, I could last a pretty long time.
Like how long?
A day.
Oh no. I'd probably be like middle tier of the pack.
How long do you need
I would
to
drop
last
out
to
after
win?
a month or two.
There is no day.
It's you go till
you go
you
till
go till they
else,
pick you
till
up.
everyone else taps out.
So what do you? Oh, you're like trying to outlast everyone.
But you don't know how long people are going.
Right.
You just
And
go until you
so
get picked up by the rescue team.
How much do you win?
$1 million?
It's $1 million.
Is that tax free?
Probably not.
Well, unless it's a Canadian program, then no, it wouldn't be.
How about you?
I'd win.
I'd go. I could last quite a long.
I'm
time.
basically roughing it right now. I'm watching all my sports from a lawn chair, for goodness sake.
I could totally just picture your facial hair and everything all grown out, Kevin, just disheveled. I could see it.
Well, see, you got more frame. You could last.
Oh, I could just off
your
the substance of my body
between losing fat and muscle.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I got lots to lose here too. But no, we're sidetracking. But I'll go. Yeah, I'm going to be in a Saskatoon bush. But again, see, like if all you ate were Saskatoon berries, ain't good for you.
No, that's not good.
You know, and like
you need the protein. You need to find the protein.
Well, here's another one here, Eddie. In one of these shows, a guy, I think somehow, maybe I think he had a bow and arrow and he killed a bear. So
and it lasted him. It wasn't too much meat. It was too much.
It hurt him. It hurt him. His system shut down.
I remember
because
that.
That's all he was eating.
I remember that season.
Yeah.
And he kept having to hide it up top.
Well, you got to have a cache.
Yeah, the cache. Yeah. And the animals. It was almost having that much meat was a disservice because, sure, you're eating good, but then the animals.
I mean, you gotta look so far ahead. I mean, you're drying it out and smoking it. And
I remember that
hiding it.
I remember, yeah.
But fish, I see where you're coming with the fish.
You need the fish.
Yeah.
You need the fish because it's good fat too, right?
Yeah.
And then you just eat the whole thing, eyeballs and everything. KK.
Klaus from Beaumont says small field strawberries, no contest.
So
even Pillman, the wild strawberries.
This crossed my mind because I think wild strawberry is like the most fun, like excited you get because that's so much rare to stumble across. But there's only normally like 1 or 2 strawberries on the little patch you find in the grass. Whereas you find a Saskatoon or raspberry bush, you can sit there for 20 minutes picking through it, have yourself a nice little snack while you're out checking fence or trying to wrangle up the cattle from the deep bush.
I love checking fence.
Mending fence. What's going on with you today, Eddie?
I'm going to go shoot the pod, and then I got some daddy duties. I got to go and take care of the kids for a bit while Stephanie's at an appointment. Got some sport tonight. Don't know what the weather's looking like, but try and get my kids outside.
Well, you got to watch the Jays, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Sport tonight, KK.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, it'll be a good day.
Oh, good stuff. Good show, Eddie. Yeah, it was
You
great.
too,
Chris,
KK.
you did a great job with Chris, too, with all those questions. And I think he offered some great insight.
He did.
And again, it's the building blocks. They're there. They got to keep building.
That's why they get the grade they got in or out, because off the field, doing the right things. On the field, got to secure more dubs.
Good stuff. That's Eddie Steele, our co-host Mondays and Fridays here on Sports 1440. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll check in with Jensen Lewis from Wiesen live. Also in the 10 o'clock hour, we got Landon Ferraro and Connor Halley. So we got a jam-packed last 2 hours of the program. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by First Round. And we're going to be giving away a $50 gift certificate later in the show. We'll figure out exactly when, so hang around for that. First Round, you could win an NFL jersey tonight at both locations, and you get 50% off boneless wings. First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Here is Sam, the record man.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Oilers dropped a second straight on the West Coast, falling 4-3 to the Canucks in OT. Edmonton erased a 3-1 third period deficit before losing in the extra frame. Leon Draisaitl netting 2 goals in what was his 800th career game. 7 other games around the NHL, including the Devils rattling off an 8th straight win, 4-3 over Colorado. Tampa beat Vegas 2-1. Winnipeg fell to Utah 3-2, and Calgary toppled the Rangers 5-1. The Edmonton Oil Kings dropped a third straight yesterday, losing 3-2 to the Calgary Hitmen, and a rare Sunday game in the AJ. Devon beat Drayton Valley 6-4. In the NFL, Week 8 action had Miami stun the Falcons 34-10. Buffalo beat Carolina 40-9. Philly with some revenge over the Giants 38-20. The Jets picked up their first win of the season, getting past the Bengals 39-38. And on Sunday Night Football, the Steelers could not get Aaron Rodgers a win over his old club. Packers win 35-25 in Pittsburgh. In the college rank, LSU has fired head coach Brian Kelly. Kelly was in the midst of his 4th season, compiling a record of 34-14, but never made a college football playoff. 9 games on the hardwood yesterday, including the Toronto Raptors losing to the Mavs 39-29. Victor Wembanyama had a 31-point double-double to lift the Spurs to an 118-107 win over Brooklyn. The Knicks fell to Miami 115-107. And this has been your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilness.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Alan Olson Auctions presents the annual Rimby Fall Consignment Sale. Online bidding is open right now through October 29th at AlanOlsonAuction.com. This 5-ring sale features thousands of lots. Bid on machinery such as tractors, haying and harvest equipment, skid steers, and more. A variety of cattle handling equipment and buildings. A huge assortment of vehicles and RVs. And 2 miscellaneous rings with a variety of great finds. Don't miss the biggest sale of the season. Visit AlanOlsonAuction.com.
For all things golf carts, it's the Golf Cart People. Their certified techs provide expert service from maintenance to custom upgrades. Customers can explore the sales floor for new and used club car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go models. The Golf Cart People stock a wide variety of parts and accessories to keep every ride in top shape and offer convenient rentals for tournaments, weddings, and festivals. Trusted for sales, service, parts, accessories, and rentals since 1997. Visit the Golf Cart People at golfcartpeople.com, your complete golf cart solution.
Well, looks like those hot sunny days are done. No more birthday soup by the pool for this guy.
Ew.
You're welcome, neighbors. Back to faux fur and flannel because it's fall, and it's also the perfect time to tackle those projects we've all been putting off, starting with a trip to Metal Supermarkets, of course. Metal cut to your precise measurements fast. The local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
The Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:10 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you here on a Monday morning. Man, weather pretty good still when you think about it, and everyone kind of hoping that, I guess for Friday, it's there's some rain in the forecast. Hopefully it can just stay away for Halloween. Not the greatest today, but still, probably a little above seasonal. If just can hold off that rain on Friday, that'd be great for all the old trick-or-treaters. Kevin Karius Show is brought to you by our title sponsor, Sports Select. And again, we talked about that QR code. If you don't like it, just use the paper selection slips. Take them to any local lotto spot retailer. They'll put them in and they'll spit them out, and it has all the games on there, and they'll give you your ticket. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Hey, Duke, let's do a $50 gift certificate, right, for first round. And you know what? Because it's National Tight End Day, I'm going to change it a little bit.
Okay.
For the question. Everyone knows Tucker Kraft probably was the number one tight end. Is that if you watched the game last night, he had what? He had 2 TDs. He had 100 and what?
Oh, he had a huge game. Yeah. Handful of grabs, 100 plus yards, 2 scores. Yeah. I think it will be pretty general.
He was head and shoulders points wise. And we're talking full PPR. I got him at 7 receptions, 143 yards, 2 TDs, 33.3 fantasy points in full PPR.
Pretty good.
So the question is for a $50 gift certificate. And we're going to have to do a little research on this ourselves because we have to make sure the answer is correct. Duke, who do you think the number 2 scoring tight end was yesterday on National Tight End Day in the NFL, full PPR? So the second highest scoring tight end yesterday behind Tucker Kraft. Who would it be? 833-401-1440. Send it our way. What? You have a surprise?
Sam, your mic's not on. You're just talking to us in our headphones.
Sam, he goes, I got a surprise for you guys. What kind of surprise would this be, Sam?
So, the number 1 isn't Tucker Kraft.
Well, who is it then?
It's Tyler Warren.
No, it's not.
For just this week, Sam, not on
week 8.
No.
Full PPR.
No. Like for what he did yesterday.
Yeah.
No, Tyler Warren did basically nothing yesterday. Tyler Warren
had 9 fantasy points yesterday.
4 receptions for 53 yards, Sam. So
yeah, hold on, I might be on the wrong one. Let's go ESPN here.
Well, it doesn't matter what one.
Yeah.
He had 9.3 points yesterday, Sam. So Tyler
no
Ward
surprise.
is not
the
even in.
The surprise is spoiled because Tyler Warren was not the number one.
He's probably not even in the top 15. Now there's another one that's coming into play here, Duke. And and that was from EG. He just texted and I don't want to say it. Do we use that one as well? Because it technically was not National Tight End Day.
Oh, rewinding to
yes. I don't want to spill the beans here, should we or not? But so that was on and I don't know if he is either anyway. No, I don't think he is. He's close. It's a pretty good question. It's a tough one. It might be him. I got to see, where is our buddy that had a 2-touchdown game yesterday as well, Duke? And that was
I believe it is.
It is the Thursday.
That's who is second.
Really?
Place. Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. So are we going to use that then, because it wasn't technically on National Tight End?
Well, we have just created the most convoluted question yet again that everybody's going to be confused about.
Okay, let's try to clarify.
Here's the clarity. Outside of Tucker Kraft, who was the highest scoring fantasy tight end yesterday?
Yesterday
was National Tight End Day. Who was the second highest scoring fantasy tight end in PPR yesterday?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. And do you know who it is?
I do.
Okay. We've had a couple correct answers, I think. Have we not?
I'm seeing one. Couple. Yeah, couple.
I got 18.
Gum King, Tyler Warren.
Who said Tyler Warren?
Gum King.
Oh, man. So he's at 18. And the other one is...
It was very close.
Yeah, it was very close.
It was very close.
I think I dressed this guy too, Duke.
I did not.
You know, really?
I benched him for the 6th highest scoring tight end. I've talked about this on this show. I've mentioned it on Fantasy Frenzy. In my Dynasty League, I drafted 2 tight ends this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have yet played the correct one on any given week.
Wow.
I think I always play the lower scoring of the 2 week to week.
I drafted this guy in the 16th round under your recommendation. If this is the
and you want to know why I drafted him? A friend of the station, Andy McNamara.
Oh yeah,
covers the Browns. Does some work there. We had him on Fantasy Frenzy going into the season, and he said, "Take note of this name."
Yeah. So, like it. Mike, again, it's the yesterday. Not any other games, just yesterday. When we come back, we're going to talk baseball, and we haven't given it the amount of talk that it's deserved, but we're going to yak at it here really extensively with one of the best in the business, Jensen Lewis. That's coming up on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
You'll see us digging holes. No, we're not looking for buried treasure. You'll see us digging trenches as well. And no, we're not building a fort. We're GS Construction, and you'll see us in neighborhoods throughout the Edmonton area. So what are we doing? GS Construction provides rehabilitation and upgrade services to Edmonton and surrounding communities. Some of our underground utilities have served us for years and are past their useful lives. We replace them, so they're around for years to come. Find out more at gsconstruction.ca.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado,
There's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Greger Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregerpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Canada, Crave is now the exclusive streaming home of Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Let me hear you if you want to win. Two of the most iconic game shows in television history.
You never know what's going to happen around here.
Stream new seasons next day on Crave. I'm excited already. Plus, dive into a massive library of classic episodes, which include Canadian legend Alex Trebek. Answer. Daily Double. Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car. That's what profit shares look like for Vision Credit Union members. Each year, we return about 75% of our profits, $35 million last year, to the people who bank with us. Because at Vision Credit Union, when you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.ca.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is easy. Visit sportselect.com and generate a QR code, or check their how to play videos for step-by-step guidance. Sportselect.com, 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:20 in Edmonton. Time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where 2025 Jeep Wrangler 1500s have 0% financing for up to 72 months. Great selection with all the new colors. The Sport, the Willys Sahara, the Rubicons are on the lot at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back Jensen Lewis from By the Books, Vison Live to the show. Morning, Jensen. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it, big guy.
Anytime, buddy. Great to be with you. Here we are, man. Best of five. Let's get her going tonight. Deep in Southern California. Going to be a lot of fun to watch.
It sure is. Hey, Jensen, we got a segment called In or Out. This is one of the questions. We just had it. Game 3 goes tonight in LA. The 2-3-2 home game format in the Major League playoffs is no good. Would you be in or out on that statement, Jens?
I'm kind of out on it. I think it puts in more strategy on what you have to do if you're the road team. And obviously you want to have the split just so it gets you the home field advantage back. And if you're the home club, you know that if you win one there in the 3-game set here after it's 1-1, you get the home field back there in at least a game 6. So I think the weird one, Kevin, and this happened to us in 2007 when I was a rookie with the Indians, is there was a weird off day between game 4 and game 5. It's just how the schedule fell that year. And we were up 3-1. That ultimately allowed the Red Sox to kind of catch their breath. Mm-hmm. And they ended up beating us in game 5 and then eventually came back from the 3-1 deficit, beat us in 7 games. So I'm all for the 2-3-2. I will never, ever again be for an off day between game 4 and game 5. So I'm glad they got that fixed now after we're done.
Did they ever explain to you why?
I think it might have been the NFL. I don't know if they wanted to go up against the NFL at that point. That's the first thing that came to my head. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Was it a Sunday night, Jensen?
It might have been. That's why. So either way, it was one of those thoughts of, okay, we're rolling. We want to be able to kind of get this thing across the line, because I can remember coming into the stadium that day, and I was playing catch with Jake Westbrook, who's going to be our Game 7 starter. And Jacoby Ellsbury, who was an outfielder for the Red Sox, I had played in the Cape Cod League with, we were just talking. He goes, dude, we're done. We're done. Like they had no life. They had nothing. I'm like, I remember walking in the clubhouse. I'm like, we're going to the World Series tomorrow. Like this is happening. So it was pretty remarkable how they got up off the mat and just kind of that day off allowed them to get back to center. And, the rest is history from there.
It sure is funny how, they talk about momentum swings between games and some people don't believe it, but that definitely helped them.
It certainly did. And I think tonight, you kind of look at where the Jays are after coming off, what was just a really resounding counterpunch there from the Dodgers, right? And I think to me, that's the beauty of this 7-game series is you have two heavyweights. I don't think you can really discount where the Blue Jays are in any facet of the game. I think they've shown that they can stand toe-to-toe. They got a real tall task tonight against Glasnow. And, if you take anything away from the Yamamoto outing, the Blue Jays had their chances all three of those first innings. And so those are missed opportunities that perhaps that game goes a little bit of a different way if you get across in the first inning and maybe answer again in the second or third. So we'll never know. All you can do is worry about tonight. And I think the Shadows are going to play a little part with a 5:00 local start there. I think that'll be very intriguing first time around the lineup, depending on how quickly both starters can work there. So anxious to see if the hitters are action early with their first good pitch they find, and try not to get to a 2-strike count, just knowing how difficult it'll be to pick up those pitches.
Yeah, really good point there. Jensen Lewis, by the books, VSiN Live with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Well, you mentioned Yoshi Yamamoto. What makes him an elite pitcher, Jensen?
It feels like we're watching a video game in real life. I know we say a lot about Ohtani, but you kind of look at I look at the carry of his fastball when he elevates, it maintains plane really well. And when you get into the high 90s there with your heater and you're able to throw, that splitter off of it and have upwards of 4 or 5 off-speed pitches that are not just quality off-speed pitches, Kevin, like they're plus off-speed pitches. And the way he's rolling right now, you just all of a sudden think, okay, I feel like I'm down 0-2 when I get into the box. And that's always a frightening feeling if you're a hitter. So sometimes you just encounter guys that are on these kind of runs. You go back to Curt Schilling last time we've seen back-to-back complete games in the postseason. And at this point, there's a part of you for a Toronto hitter that like, I want another chance at him. You want to get this thing. Ideally, you win the next 3 games. You don't have to worry about facing him again. But if you do, you want the opportunity because you were right there. You let him off the hook a couple of times, and we know great starting pitching. If you don't get him early, they tend to settle in, and they get into dominant stretches. That's what you saw from Yamamoto last night.
Hey, what did you think of Trey Savage in Game 1 for the Jays, Jensen? We were talking that his first start this year, there was 350 fans in the stands.
What a remarkable journey, Kev. And I was thinking back to, I remember my first professional start in 2005 was actually a piggyback of a major leaguer that was coming down on a rehab assignment. So I was having to kind of go through my routine, and I came in with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the first inning. He was at Jason Stanford. I'll never forget it. He was at his pitch count threshold. So they came and got me. Hey, welcome to pro ball. Here's bases loaded. You're a starter. You got to get out of it. I did. And that got me a steak dinner from the big leaguer on rehab. So everything was good from there. But to look at Trey and the growth and even chronicling his second half of the season, not making your first big league start until halfway through September is one thing, but then really being entrusted with a Game 1 or Game 2 start in pivotal postseason series. And Kevin, you just don't see that. And I think that's a bigger endorsement of the player and the person, moreover, than really any of the talent. So to me, I think you've got to know that the kid's got to have a great head on his shoulders to be able to handle the moment and be able to rise to it. And boy, sky's the limit for this kid. And I really hope that when he gets back on the mound in a hostile environment, it will be on Wednesday night, that he has an opportunity to kind of atone for a couple of mistakes there in Game 1.
Jensen Lewis with us on Sports 1440. So Max Scherzer tonight, as you know, Jensen. So how does a guy like that have, when he's got all of that emotion and it's all bottled up, and you saw it with the mound visit with John Schneider and everything, that how as a pitcher do you channel that and focus on that and use it to your advantage? Because sometimes if you go over the edge with that, it can hurt you rather than help you. So maybe discuss that fine line as a pitcher there.
He's been doing it forever. And as long as you're true to who you are, that's kind of been him, right? And he's obviously evolved since he was a rookie and his first couple of years in the big leagues. And as long as that's your authentic personality, then you're not really faking anything. So you can hear from all his different teammates, pitching coaches, managers before, like it's a resounding refrain that this is Mad Max. There's a reason they call him Mad Max. So you hope that does come out tonight, a place that he's quite familiar with there at Dodger Stadium. Always it feels like been familiar pitching in these kind of situations. And the fifth World Series start that he's had, you go back a couple of years ago when he was with the Rangers, obviously. The track record's been really good if you're a Blue Jay fan. Previous 4 outings, I think his teams are 3-1. It's a respectable 3.26 ERA and 19 1/3. And I think his big key tonight is going to be just what it was in Seattle: is you've got to be ahead in the count. You got to force these Dodger hitters to expand their zone, and that's tough to do for a team that's incredibly patient at the plate. So I'm real anxious to see what the sequencing will look like from him and Kirky. And if he can change some eye level and he's got that good off speed, he's got a good slider. I think he's got a chance to get a little bit deeper than maybe what the experts think.
Can you explain the shadows that you mentioned a little earlier, Jensen, just in the sense that, is there a certain pitch or maybe arm slot or delivery where a batter might not pick up on a pitch in the shadows here at Dodger Stadium more so than others?
Sure. Yeah. And I think just overall, it's an overall kind of feeling of when it starts in the light and then it goes in the dark about halfway, you're trying to pick it up out of the hand. You're trying to recognize spin. And like, I'll take Glass now, for instance, because his breaking ball, his curveball is so good and it's very reminiscent of his four-seam fastball. That's where I think you run into so much trepidation and you kind of feel helpless as a hitter. I know I was texting with Justin Morneau from MLB Network Radio. Of course, we faced each other a lot when he was with the Twins, and hearing our resident position players talk about it, it was incredible insight to hear those guys. And to a man, it was like there's nothing you can do. Like you would become a guest hitter, and you better hope you're right in that spot until you get the consistency of whether you're fully in light or fully in dark. So Glasnow is going to have a significant advantage on the breaking ball if he's ahead in the count, because now you're forcing hitters to have to cover north and south, and you technically don't have to throw strikes in advantage counts to get guys out, if that makes sense. So for people that'll be watching at home, you may see a Blue Jay lineup be hyper aggressive when they try and recognize fastball early, knowing that they just want nothing to do with having to worry about diagnosing fastball to breaking ball, especially with 2 strikes.
Is it 2 innings, 3 innings? Like, if just say they're normal timed innings, Jensen, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, I would say the third. Yeah, probably into the third. If it goes really fast, maybe into the fourth. But yeah, right at dusk, right at twilight there, I think they should be in better shape.
Jensen Lewis with us from By the Books, V's and Live on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. It looks as if Bo Bichette's going to start tonight. What did you make of what you saw from him earlier? You can just tell that he's just not 100% there.
Yeah, not 100%, but damn, I would love to have his 75 or 80. Just, it feels like he rolls out of bed and he can hit anything. And I realize it's not as much of the drive, knowing the lower half is compromised. But I go back to the double play, or I go back to the ball up the middle, and he was able to to make that turn and that throw. And I'm like, okay, that one probably hurt. And he gritted it and kind of found his way through it from a mental standpoint. But the day off hopefully helps him. They get a little more treatment, a little more rehab. I think it's probably just if he's got to run the base, he's got to leg out a double or something like that. It's kind of where you look for re-aggravation, turning the base, having to kind of go up the middle again. But man, I'd much rather have his bat in the lineup, knowing it's one swing, man, where you shoot it in a gap there in a big RBI spot, and that's all the difference in a series like this.
So we haven't seen too much of the Dodger bullpen, just the way game 1 went and how game 2 went when, you have a complete game. Maybe just touch on what you have seen with this pen here, Jensen, in the sense that a lot of people said it was the weakest part of the team, but more recently it's been pretty darn good.
Everyone's rested. I would feel really dominant too if I only had to pitch 1 out of 3 days, So, and again, you're right. It's a credit to the rotation, getting as deep into games as they have, start in and start out. I think 2 things tonight, barring something unforeseen. I believe Roki Sasaki is in this game, whether it is to clean up the 8th and finish up a 9th inning. Unless it's an absolute, even if it is a blowout one way or another, I think you got to get him in tonight with the opportunity to just get him some game action, get him back on time. Emmett Sheehan, you would think in a big time spot. Blake Trinan in a big time spot. Anthony Bonda feels like is now your leverage lefty with Vesia not on the roster. So pretty much to script, I think, from when we approached and entered game one, Kevin, is probably where Doc Roberts' mindset is at entering tonight.
Is there any chance Vesia could come back at some point, or is he just done because of this personal matter?
Yeah, it sounds like he was not placed on the family medical emergency list, so he would be ineligible to come back. Just a horrible situation, and obviously thoughts and prayers with him and the family and the person first before that. But from a baseball standpoint, Kevin, there's no sugarcoating it. That is a massive loss, and now even thinking with the series 1-1, you are guaranteed to play 3 days in a row. So Dave Roberts will have to be a bit more selective, with Bonda, with Jack Dreyer, how he wants to use those guys, when he wants to use them, knowing you don't have Vesia for later on in the game.
What do you make of the bottom of the Dodgers lineup? Everyone knows how dangerous, between Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, even Will Smith there. And I mean, to be honest, 5 and 6 ain't too bad either with Teoscar and Max Muncy. But just that bottom of the lineup, there's some similarities to the Jays where they have the opportunity to turn that lineup over.
Yeah, Kike Hernandez turns into a Hall of Famer when it turns to October. Remarkable, and it's a credit to the player to mentally go to that next level, and then from a physical standpoint, he's had so many big hits. So yeah, to me, I think you understand if you're Scherzer, if you're John Schneider, and kind of understanding. I have to be able to get these guys off base in front of Ohtani and in front of Betts. Like, you want to limit as much traffic, easier said than done, of course, but attacking with fastballs, Chavez Ravine at night is going to play a little bit bigger. And I think that to me is you attack Pajes, you attack, Kike. Just don't allow them to get into advantage counts, really force them to have to beat you the other way. If that happens, then I think from a defensive standpoint, you're in a much better spot. And it's a Barger out there who can, run it down and be able to have Varsho in center to cover the gap too.
Do you think we'll see Clayton Kershaw in the series at all? Or, and if we do, what kind of leverage situation would it be, Jensen?
It would have to be, Kev, if he's in a leverage situation, it may be like there's an injury to Glass now, or Ohtani has a really super high pitch count where you may need to bridge to get to that sixth inning. Outside of that, it's probably cleanup. And again, anything can happen, but it just feels like, he's there as an emergency for them. I think you can kind of tell that Dave Roberts wants to stick more to the actual relievers who are used to doing it that way. It's great in a regular season mode to kind of get him the repetition, but way different, man, when you're taking them out in a World Series with guys on and having to get out of a big spot.
One last one for you. I know we're jumping ahead to game 4, but how excited are you to see Shohei Ohtani pitch and hit in game 4?
I don't know how the hell you follow up NLCS game 4. Good luck. If anyone can, he certainly could, but I think Shane Bieber will be equal to the task. Again, you look at the profile of where Ohtani has really struggled from the swing and miss. That kind of feeds into if Shane has his good off speed early, and he'll have to be from pitch number 1. We know that. So very anxious to see. It's usually much more difficult, Kev, when you have that kind of dominant outing to be able to follow up. So really a captivating scene when we get to tomorrow's first pitch. No question about it.
Well, it's going to be great. Selfishly, I got a call into an old buddy, Terry Poole, to come on our show tomorrow that played so many years down in Houston, and hopefully he's going to come on tomorrow morning and bust it down. And I know you know about Terry, and Terry was probably the best Canadian positional player before the likes of Larry Walker, and you mentioned Justin Morneau and Joey Votto. What do you remember about Terry Poole?
What's remarkable is when you think about just the lineage and how the game has grown, you have those trailblazers, those breaking the glass guys, and that was certainly him. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget the Larry Walker with the backwards hat, the backwards helmet in the All-Star game. It's just always great, but it's so unique. And I don't know if it's in the water up in Canada, but man, Walker's swing path, just there's no added extra effort. Morney was maybe a little bit more forceful, if you will. Of course, he hit tanks left, right, and center. But man, it's silky smooth. Just kind of watching those guys go about it. Votto was the same. We came up together through the minor leagues. We went against each other. He was in Louisville, and I was in Buffalo, coming up in AAA. So just remarkable swing planes and I think plate discipline. Always something that I would go back to. Like, these guys know what they're doing. Of course, Freddie Freeman naturally born up there too. So it never fails. Left-handed Canadian sluggers, man. It's something in the water. I'm convinced.
Yeah, Votto could work a count, couldn't he?
Certainly could. He did against me. I'm glad we had our good battles. So glad I don't have to face him anymore.
Hey, Jensen, always enjoy our conversations. Thanks for coming on as always. Enjoy game number 3 tonight and the rest of the series. Take care, man.
Likewise. Thanks, Kev. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, that's Jensen Lewis from By the Books, VSiN Live. One of the very best when it comes to breaking down pitching, hitting, anything that has to do with baseball, and check them out at VSiN Live for sure. That's the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. And once again, we've got the 2025 Jeep Wrangler 1500s with 0% financing for up to 72 months. Check it out at stalbertdodge.com. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. A lot of correct answers on our trivia question, a lot of incorrect answers on our trivia question. Who was yesterday's second highest scoring tight end on National Tight End Day in a full PPR fantasy football league? Full PPR, yesterday's games on National Tight End Day. There were some pretty good performances. There's no question about that. The second best after Tucker Kraft, who was phenomenal last night, although that is some bad tackling by the Steelers. Their defense, everyone's talking about this defense supposedly being so good. This Pittsburgh defense has so many holes, and TJ Watt looks like he is not even close to resembling the player that he once was. That's all coming up straight ahead. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select, and we're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered with half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com and call today to get started.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
Fall in the savings at Wolf GMC Buick. For a very limited time, get 0% on every 2025 Buick and GMC, including the all-new Buick Envista, the Encore, Envision, and Enclave. For the GMCs, 0% on 2025.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show, presented by Sports Select.
In-store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal? Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your your cowboy boots and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:44 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. We've also got Josh Fenwick, Sam the Record Man running the boards as well. Presented by Sports Select. Also streaming everywhere that it can possibly be streamed. YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram. Got to ask our basketball expert, old Joshy boy, one question about the Raptors game last night. Was it 139 to 129? Dallas beat them. Scotty Barnes had 33 points. I didn't watch the game because I was watching other stuff, but just looking at the Dallas box score, it seemed like a lot of spread out scoring. I think about 4 or 5 guys over 20 points. Am I correct in that?
I'm sorry. What was your question?
So I said Dallas beat the Raptors 139-129.
They did? Oh, my God.
I said Barnes had 33. But when I looked at the box score for Dallas, I noticed that there was a lot of spread out scoring. I said 4 guys that were over 20 points. Anthony Davis had 25, Cooper Flag 22, D'Angelo Russell had 24. So I said it was spread out scoring.
Yeah, super
by
spread
Dallas.
out scoring. Yes,
so that's
yes.
my question.
As astute observation. Yes, it's spread out scoring by Dallas.
So, normally pay attention. There's a quiz later.
Well, I was like, this isn't his question. You asked me a question with the answer in it.
Not
Kev.
really. No, because I didn't know what they were. Again, so I just looked it up while you
fair
told
enough,
me.
fair enough. Yeah, but yeah,
So-
spread out scoring. The team defense needs to be better for the Raptors going
Yeah.
forward. However, their pace of play is incredible this season.
That's they put a lot on the board there. Barnes had 10 rebounds. I don't have it in front of me. I'm just going from what
He's got 11 rebounds
he had
last
11
night.
last night. Okay, very good. Okay, so are we done now or what?
I don't know.
Listen, I'm throwing you a bone to come on the show
You're
here.
throwing me a bone here.
Um,
Yeah, Scotty Barnes is by far the best player on this
Uh-huh.
team. Sorry, Notorious BI3, Brandon Ingram. That's his nickname. Cold as hell.
Okay.
But yeah, Scotty Barnes is like the crossover between Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. He plays that like Scottie Pippen to a very lesser extent role of being a point forward, and the whole offense sort of operates around him. The problem with that is that he's also their primary defender, and outside of him, there isn't really anyone on the team that you can look at and go, okay, I need you to go one-on-one with Cooper Flag or D'Angelo Russell, who outside of his last year in Brooklyn hasn't been particularly consistent out of his career.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and being part of the show here, Josh. It's
Thanks for
very
not
good.
yelling at me, Kev.
Very kind of you. Husk text in and said 81 points between Barnes, Barrett, Ingram. The big three looking good from Husks. Bad Efron text in 833-401-1440. KK, it's good to hear your voice. I was away for 2 months with school, but I'm done now so I can listen to sports all day and not worry about studying. Hey, congrats. I don't know, studying for 2 months, that's a pretty big commitment. Glad you're back. Our buddy Cunny, who knows absolutely nothing about fantasy sports, football. I was sent his team in that he rostered yesterday, and this is as bad as it gets. And I might see Cunny later today at hockey, but I'm not sure. So he started Dak Prescott. This is some of the guys. Prescott, Quentin Johnson had 0 points. Loveland had 6.8, tight end in Chicago. Moore had 11 in Chicago. Eddie Pinheiro had 1. Like, you got to get off these guys, Cunny. Come on, wake up. If you didn't have Saquon going yesterday, you'd have nothing. I guess you had Brown going for since he had 25.5. But Cunny, get into the. You got to start doing some research. You can't just plug these guys in and hope for the best. Do a little work. Try ask for advice. Give me a call. Give some other guys here. Give the Duke a call. Ask some other guys that know a lot more about football than you do, and it'll come your way. It'll slowly turn your way, Cunny. Very impressive, though. Our correct answer, we might as well release it now. We had so many. Well, Kim in St. Albert, Jake Ferguson. Well, Jake had 0 points yesterday. A lot of people came in with Dallas Goedert out of Philadelphia, who had a couple of touchdowns and was really good. Again, this guy's been really good. Even Corey, who is Dallas Goedert? Suck at Trebek. Sorry, Corey. You are incorrect. That is incorrect, sir. The correct answer for yesterday's second highest scoring tight end in full PPR on National Tight End Day is Harold Fannin Jr., who had a really good game. I mean, Cleveland put 13 points up on the board. That's it against New England. Harold Fannin Jr. had 6 receptions, 62 receiving yards, and a touchdown for 18.4. And he also had 2 rushing yards. He is the correct answer. So the Duke will spin the magic wheel, and all the correct answers that were Harold Fannin Jr. will be coming in there. And Duke's back here in business. So this is the guy. So you had a guy tell you, keep this guy. I got him in the 16th round. Sam, turn on Duke's mic. I had McBride on a bye. So.
Well, hey, that's looking pretty savvy. Yeah, I took him with I think it was Mr. Irrelevant pick in our dynasty draft. And it's only 3 rounds, 12 teams, so, 36th overall. But, yeah, he's been good. Mason Taylor, a big game yesterday, too, another rookie tight end. I mentioned it last break that I took both of them, kind of thinking one of these guys has to grab a big shareholder of their respective team. Yeah. Taylor seemed like the better option because there was no one in front of him on the depth chart in New York, right? But the problem with quarterback play in New York has limited his upside a little bit, whereas in Cleveland, like David Njoku is still having a pretty solid season now. Once again, staying healthy. He's missed last week. I can't remember, missed the one before that too. But yeah, Fannin Jr., he's carving himself out a nice little role on a team that, like the Jets and like a couple other where you see tight ends play big roles, lack talent at the receiver position.
Yeah. And again, when you have a quarterback that doesn't have the arm strength, and we're talking about Dylan Gabriel, I mean, that's your money pass. It could be 10, 12, 15 yards, whatever it is, to your tight end. That's what happens all the time with rookie quarterbacks. Wow. And we have a winner here, Duke?
Yeah, Kaylee
Dunlop.
Kaylee is our winner. I've just sent them a text message, getting their info, and we'll get them set up. $50, first round, DT.
Congrats, Kaylee. Head to first round tonight. Watch that game. So we might as well. We got to do. It's my pick, correct?
It is your pick, correct? And your cold streak continues.
So I'm gonna go, and it's what, 11 or
let me just refresh.
check it out.
Let me give the freshest refresh
Either 11 or 11 and a half.
from our friends at Sports Select. I'm seeing 11 and a half.
I'm gonna take Kansas City.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's a lot of points.
I know it is, but I mean, because normally I would go the other way around.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the opposite.
But has that been working?
No, nothing's working. Like, I mean, how does Cincinnati not close that game?
I don't know, Kev. I don't.
And these are the ones that are killing me.
And
dude.
these big spreads, man, it's so tough. Like yesterday, Titans were 14-15, I think, by the time it closed, point underdogs in Indy. And yeah, Indy's played really well this year. They're the best team in the NFL here through 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I did not bet it, but I look at it and I kind of say, like, man, if I were laying something on this game, I would probably take the Titans. Like, that's too many points. And then the Colts come out and whomp them. Like, it's
24.
not close at any point. And Jonathan Taylor 3 scores again. You know, I was looking yesterday, Kevin.
He's got what?
Jonathan, he's 4 games with 3 touchdowns this year. He's the best player in fantasy football. I'll save those for tomorrow. We can chat about it once week 8's officially in the books.
Mm-hmm.
He's my number 1 choice for MVP at this stage of the season.
I wouldn't disagree with you at all.
And so if you were looking on a book yesterday, him to score 2 or more touchdowns was only plus 140.
Really?
Now, if you did get really ballsy and go over the 3 scores, then you're looking at a substantial increase. But like 1 touchdown, it's not even worth the spread, the grub. Like it's nothing.
Does he have 5 more touchdowns than the entire Tennessee team?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
Come on now.
That's crazy. But I mean, all the other, like, even like when you're looking, and MTR texted in, boy, Houston really laid a licking on San Fran, eh?
Well, like the Niners, like who do they have left?
Nothing
to play. More guys go out yesterday.
Yeah, it's sad. I feel bad for MTR.
And the Texans defense continues to not only keep them in games, but outright win them. And CJ Stroud was really good yesterday. In a game without Nico Collins.
Yeah. Amount of plays run over double.
Yeah.
And then time of possession was a double too.
Yeah. It's Houston's wide receiver core yesterday. Iowa State.
I know.
All 3 of them. All 3 guys.
I was like, that's the big Christmas junior, eh? Joyous.
Not like some Big 10 football down in Big 12 football down in Texas.
But then I see Duke some spreads. Like I went like, okay, Tampa Bay and New Orleans. There's no, like, that spread yesterday was 4.5, I believe. Like, that had to have been more.
Nice. I don't know. And then so if you recall, Kevin, last week, I talked about our group parlay coming off a big win, to get a couple grand in the bankroll. 0 for 7 this week. Not a single one of us hit our respective picks. Not even close.
Oh man! Top of the hour, we'll check in with Landon Ferraro and also Connor Halley. So we'll touch a fair bit about a little more fantasy and things like that at 10:20. But right after the break, Landon Ferraro, you hear him here on Sports 1440 pre and post game. He was also on the broadcast last night. I watched more of the Pacific because the Sportsnet West had the Flames game on. So right to start. Right. So I was like, that was, I think it went till 8:30 or something like. So I started on Pacific. So I saw Landon there as well. Before all that time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, South Edmonton, your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here's Sam, the record man.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 3 of the World Series getting underway tonight at 6 p.m. Max Scherzer taking the mound for the Dodgers, with Glasnow taking the mound for the Dodgers in L.A. Only 2 games in the NHL tonight as the Blues head to Pittsburgh to take on the Penguins, and the Bruins and Senators facing off in Ottawa. In the NFL, Monday Night Football getting underway. Commanders and Chiefs taking the field at 6:15, and off the field Seahawks and Titans receiver Tyler Lockett has signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. Lockett had signed a one-year deal with the Titans in April and had 70 yards with 10 catches before being released by Tennessee. In the NBA, full slate of games on tonight with the Cavaliers heading to Detroit to take on the Pistons. The Nets and Rockets facing off in Houston. The Thunder take on the Mavericks, and the Trailblazers head to Los Angeles to face off against the Lakers. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Landon Ferraro here on Sports 1440, and this is the your Sports 1440 update with Sam Wilness.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's #1.
Even when it comes to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Harris Wiener. The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree.
Wilhawk beef jerky is the best.
It might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhawk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win friends with salad.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudling. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Karius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers presents a massive 4-day unreserved heavy equipment auction at their Nisku site October 29th to November 1st, 8 a.m. Live online bidding. On offer core construction heavy equipment, trucks, trailers, nearly every industry covered, including over $20 million of ag equipment. Register to bid online. It's free. Priority bids, timed auction, on-site viewing, on now. Demand for equipment is strong. Contact your local territory manager to consign. More at rbauction.com.
Sauce. Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar and looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game Day Suits!
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:02 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Time to bust down last night's Oilers game a little bit more and look ahead to tomorrow's game with Utah, who, boy, the Mammoth on a real roll, as we check in with Landon Ferraro that you hear on our Sports 1440 pre- and post-game shows with Andrew Walker. Morning, Landon. You're with Kevin Karius once again. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's good seeing you again.
Good seeing you too, Landon. Last night I was watching you and Tyson Berry on the old panel there. What's it like to get Tyson now involved in all this stuff?
I mean, having Tyson's around, it's always amusing. He's done a really good job so far, but no, we're having a lot of fun up there, and Murph just making sure the ship somewhat stays on track. But no, Tyson obviously is. I mean, he's played with some of the biggest guys in the game, including there in Edmonton, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and him just retiring is always nice. There's a lot of good stories around, so if there's nothing going on, he can fill time for sure, make a lot of people laugh.
He could do that. He came on the show here a couple months ago, and man, oh man, it was entertaining to say the least. So what did you make of that game last night as a whole, Landon? Canucks winning 4-3 in overtime.
Well, I mean, going into it, you have a team in Vancouver that finds out that Quinn Hughes isn't going to be in the lineup. They've already had, Filipito's out, Jonathan Lecker-Mackey's out, Teddy Bluger. Like, they've got a lot of guys out right now, and yet they make the trade for Lucas Reichel, so they get a bit of help at center. And last night, like, they came out and you could see a little tentative. Like, Edmonton got on them early, and they forced a lot of icings. And I said it on the broadcast, but like, you don't expect a team to gain momentum when Edmonton gets a power play, and that's kind of what happened. They get that early power play, and Edmonton kind of struggled to get set up to really. Like, McDavid had the chance right off the first face-off of it, but then Vancouver got a couple really good chances, and they kind of took the game over from there. Up until that goal by Draisaitl, like, that kind of got them back into it a little bit. So, with Edmonton, they play really good at some point. They give some easy chances against, and like, that's kind of been the story of Edmonton so far this year. It was amazing that they were able to battle back for the 1 point, but like, they got outskated a lot of the night.
Yeah, you're bang on with that power play, Landon, in the sense, like, I mean, Sherwood had a chance. If he hangs onto that puck for just a split second, he basically has a whole open net off that toe drag, and it did kill a lot of any little bit of momentum that the Oilers had. I just want to maybe talk about that first goal that Besser scored, and for some reason the defense pairing with Ekholm and Wallman that's put together just doesn't have that synchronicity, doesn't have that chemistry right now. What do you make of those two?
Yeah, and I think that, like, I actually didn't mind that they split the top four up, and like, the Ekholm Bouchard pairing has been going through a bit of trouble, and they've been such a good pairing for the Edmonton team for a couple years now. But when things aren't quite working, Bouchard's had a tough start to the year, and you got to move it around a little bit. They got caught last night. Everything kind of opened up. Vancouver makes one long stretch pass that ends up kind of deflecting into the zone, and Evander Kane makes a good move, but all of a sudden, Brock Besser, who is a very good goal scorer, but he's not known for being like the fastest player on the ice, ends up all by himself, and Pickard just opened up a little too much. Like, there was a lot of room 5-hole, and for Besser, he's not even at that point, like, he's not even thinking about, like, obviously he wants to score, but puck's on his backhand, it's kind of bouncing, like, he's just trying to get anywhere near the net. Like, it almost surprised him that it went in.
I agree with that. I mean, he's just putting it on and hoping for the best. That Evan Bouchard pass to Leon Draisaitl to get the Oilers' first goal, what'd you make of that? That was a real beauty.
Well, and that's I don't want to say the problem, because it's not a problem. You have a guy that can make passes like that, and he can, he had the big bomb again the night before. But like, that's the frustrating part, I would say, with Evan Bouchard sometimes, is he can really get lost defensively and make some poor decisions. The night before, he had a couple pinches where he gets caught in the middle. Like, he wants to go, then he doesn't think he should. Now all of a sudden, like, he's right in the middle, and that's the worst place to be in the NHL. But then he makes a play like that. Like, there's not many defensemen that, one, are going to see that lane open up to Draisaitl, and two, be able to, by the time they see it and deliver the puck, like, they don't think the game quick enough and the skill-wise to make that pass. It was an unbelievable pass. And for Draisaitl to be able to hold himself on side, and I mean, that release is just ridiculous. Demko had zero chance on that.
As a player, Landon, how much is this confidence for Bouchard?
I think especially for an offensive defenseman, and talking about Tyson Barrie, like he was talking about it a bit last night, and we were talking about it during the periods. Like everything is confidence. You need to be feeling the puck. You need to, especially guys on the back end that make like the hard, quick reads of being super aggressive. If you let your confidence slip just that little bit, like that puts the hesitation in your game. And that's the biggest thing that separates a guy that's, a good defenseman from an all-star caliber that is putting up a bunch of points, is that lag time isn't there. They see the play, they make the play, and their hands can make it happen in a quick fashion. So with Bouchard, it's overthinking and not just letting the natural ability take over. Because when they don't think about it, it's just like a forward up front. Plays happen faster, and that's the little bit of difference that makes the play happen.
How have you thought, like even so last night and maybe a little bit before, that Bouchard and Nurse, how do you think they've looked together?
I haven't minded it. I think that Darnell's been playing pretty decent. I mean, not that his playmaking ability is the part that you're waiting on all the time, but the 2 games ago he makes a couple unbelievable plays. You talk about confidence, like he's a guy that's feeling it a bit right now, and for someone that's been with Edmonton as long as he has and trying to accomplish the goal that team's been in for the past few years, I think he's pretty dialed right now. It's the biggest thing is not that it all hangs on Bouchard, but he is your best defenseman, your highest paid defenseman, and you need him to kind of take charge and not have to try to supplement with his partner right now. And it's just about working through it. But I'd say that about a lot of Edmonton's lineup right now. They have some parts that are very good, and then some parts that hurt them, and that's the area of the game right now that is costing them points.
Yeah. What have you seen, Landon, from Jack Roslovic that leads you to believe that it's starting to come for him a little bit more?
Just being a little bit more direct, but I think it's more like making the little plays. You miss all of training camp, that's hard enough, but now you're missing all of training camp and starting on a new team. And I was talking about this in the pregame show yesterday with Walks, but Edmonton, again, I'd happily sign there and happily go play. Like it would be a ton of fun to play within that system. But in saying that, it's kind of the system, but no system at the same time, especially once you get into the offensive zone. It's a lot of freewheeling. It's a lot of making quick reads and taking advantage of mistakes of the other team. So for Roslovic, he's been trying to get to pace, and you could see him see the play and not be able to make it. Like his hands just weren't quite at the same pace as his head and his reads yet. And I think over the last couple games, he's handled the puck better. He's made more plays. And when a guy's starting to feel it and get back to, more of his natural pace and style of play, like the puck has started to find him a bit more on the ice. He's got a great shot. He's a guy that he's a streaky scorer, and you're going to have some parts there are some stretches where the puck doesn't find him as much. And right now I feel like he's just kind of breaking through that cusp of really going on a good streak here. He's, like I said, the biggest thing is just getting up to pace.
Landon Ferraro with us on the Kevin Karius Show, pre and post game show host right here, and analyst on Sports 1440. Ike Howard, Matt Savoy on the same line last night with technically another rookie and Tomashik in the middle. Can the Oilers afford to run that out there more often than not?
To be honest, is it ideal? Probably not. But at the same time, I don't think, if Edmonton is playing the way that we've seen them play, even at points of this year already, but on a more consistent basis, that line should be okay. There's enough speed. Tomashik is good on pucks. He's able to make plays under pressure and stand over it. I love Savoy's speed, and he seems like a guy that is starting to get more comfortable in the league. I know he played a couple of games in the past, but it's different when you're a full-time guy, and now you're trying to not just stay in the lineup, but you're trying to produce and try and find the way that you can help the team. And for him, it's all speed. Ike Howard gets his first goal. Like, they bring parts of their game that it should be okay. And you're playing in, down the lineup and getting easier matchups. It shouldn't be an issue. And I think with Edmonton this year, it's such a nice difference to have some youth on the team. I know Tomashik's 28 or 9, I think 29. Like, it's different, but it's still his first year in the league. And I think that's a line that can provide that when things get sticky a little bit at different points of a game. They can be an energy line that goes out there and gets some zone time and maybe gets a chance or two.
And thankfully the power play is going right now, because that's what's keeping, the Oilers right at level here at 4-4-2. How many times have you watched the Utah Mammoth here so far? I mean, this is one of the biggest stories in the first 10 games, maybe the biggest story in the league, with them leading the division at 8-2, and maybe just an expectation of what we're going to see tomorrow night, Landon.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a bit of it, but I feel like I don't ever get a chance to see how they play, because it's just goals going in all the time, right? Like, they score a lot. They're fast. They're that younger team they're all kind of hitting their mark now, and you can see that excitement in their game. They take advantage of turnovers. They are really, like, they're just a team that is feeling it right now, and Edmonton fans should know that feeling. It's kind of the same when especially Draisaitl and McDavid are rolling and things just seem like it's automatic. Like that power play at the end of the game last night to tie it, as soon as Marcus Pettersson, which that's a big piece for Vancouver on their penalty kill as well. So seeing him go to the box, I'm sitting up in the studio and I'm just like, this is a goal. Like, I don't know where it's going to come from, but it's happening. And that's what it feels like watching Utah right now. Even if they're getting outplayed at a certain point, you know that they're going to score. You know they're going to take advantage of a situation. So for Edmonton, it's about trying to get in front of guys, slowing them down, making sure they don't give up any easy offense, because they're going to find offense on their own.
Yeah. Landon, hey, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it. Enjoy tomorrow's game. It's going to be another, maybe one last one. Like, when you were playing and you have all these young guys like Cooley and Gunther, Paterka is only 23, 24 years old. Are you, like, would the coach just say, I'm sending these guys over the bench, over the boards, and whatever happens, happens? I know there's going to be some problems, some mistakes, but just go out and have some fun, guys.
100%. Like, and that's the way you got to treat young guys that are skilled, and that's the makeup of your team. You got to be okay with some of the bad that's going to come with a lot of the good, and use it as learning experience. It might be frustrating at different points when you see the same mistake happen a couple times, but at the same point, you need them to find out in game what works, what doesn't work. You want them to keep pushing the limits and finding where that is. And obviously it's working right now, and they're a team that's, unlike Edmonton, where they're trying to get back to a certain point and take that one final step. Utah is trying to get themselves into playoffs and show that this team is for real and they're here to play.
Good stuff, Landon. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and even the Jays tonight. Thanks for coming on as always.
Thanks. Yeah, enjoy the game tonight for sure.
It's going to be another good one. Yeah, take care. That's Landon Ferraro, our pre and post game analyst here on Sports 1440 with Andrew Walker and Donnie P. Also, obviously, Sportsnet. We're talking, doing the Pacific broadcast there in game, pre and in between periods with Tyson Berry now. So kind of a cool little thing that they got going out in Vancouver on the broadcast. When we come back, the con man will be in the building. Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show. That's coming up right after the break. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
It's a new season, Edmonton, which means it's time for new offers. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. This is your chance to score big. And for a limited time only, our listeners can get an exclusive $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code Greger50. That's code Greger50 for an exclusive $50 free bet. Alberta wins with Play Alberta. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. PlayAlberta.ca.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The Hockey Super League is proud to launch its 9th season, delivering independent, borderless hockey. This year, over 125 teams will compete across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and for the first time ever, Colorado, USA, which showcase style action, cross-province rivalries, and a strong commitment to player development. The HSL is the premier destination for families seeking balance and athletes chasing the next level. The Hockey Super League. Hockey without limits. For athletes born in 2013 to 2018, visit hockeysuperleague.com to learn more.
Hey there, this is your wake-up call. It's time to change to your winter tires. Unless you want to be sliding and swerving around icy roads like you're some kind of dummy. Head to Big Toy Shop and get it done right for a great price. We won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. Time to change your tires. Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. 780-298-2797.
Prostate cancer affects 1 in 6 men in Alberta, and this November we're fighting back. Every dollar raised fuels early detection and life-saving support. Donate today for the men in our province. Visit keepitinalberta.ca to start your fundraiser or donate today.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
I've been job hunting for months, but I don't have the skills for the jobs I want. I've been job hunting for months, and with the help of Work First Alberta, I got hired.
Work First Alberta can help you change your story. It connects job seekers with training and resources to find meaningful employment, and it can help employers find qualified candidates. Learn how you can change your story at workfirstalberta.ca. A message from the Government of Alberta.
This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, a proud presentation of Sports Select.
In store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:21 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you, awaiting the arrival of one Connor Halley, the con man, who texted you, Duke, and said what? That he's in a drive-through.
I think he was probably popping in for his usual morning coffee. Whether it's I think he was probably just getting a coffee this morning based on the drive-through line that
Which
it looked like he was in.
drive-through line do you think he was in?
I think he's across the street at McDonald's.
Oh,
because he like the coffee, loves iced coffee, but I think maybe the weather wouldn't be.
I'll bet he has a nice coffee when he comes.
No,
in.
I think he'll have a
He's
regular.
hot one?
I think he'll have a hot coffee.
Think he brings in any other snacks and treats for the guys?
No, not today. Seems like
Because
he's a little up against it.
Sort of running in the like it's kind of a.
Well, he's set this precedent to the extent, and listen, it's this app, I think, or websites where it's just you go to any number of places, they're all listed there, and you can get basically a mystery box for like $5, and whatever's in it's in it, and then usually there are things kind of leftovers, like or things that are approaching their time to throw them in the bin date or time based on when they were prepared. So Connor takes advantage of it, and then last week actually Paul, one of the sales managers here in the building, he came out there and he says to Connor, he's like, who's always bringing in these donuts? Connor's like, oh, it's I am. They're just, it's this too good to go app thing.
It's a $5
and
thing.
Paul's like, oh, well, it's unreal. He's like, tell you what, next couple on me, and just gave him I think I can't remember if it was 10 or 20 bucks or something. So good on Paul. So who knows if Connor is executing that today or maybe saving it for later this week once I'm not here to enjoy it.
Yeah, you're gone on Wednesday. It's a big, so you leave, but you don't fly out till
Thursday. Yeah, Wednesday I'm going to do. I've been working feverishly to clean my old place.
Yeah,
vacuum the carpets. I'm borrowing my sister's carpet cleaner to do it, scrubbing the walls, all this stuff. And it'll probably be in futility because
you want to get your damage.
I wanted to get as much of my damage deposit as back as possible. But something tells me that they always find a way to. And so that makes me wonder, is it worth it? If I know that they're not going to give it back to me anyway,
have you been a model tenant?
I would say so. The amount of money they've had to spend on the property in the 2 years I've lived there is zero.
Yeah.
I have not put in a single request. It's little things I've taken care of myself. Well, I've been very, I've vacuumed it like 6 times already. Okay. I'm going to do it some more and then do the carpet cleaner over it, which will be hopefully good. But so that happens
the candles
Wednesday.
In there, buy some nice candles.
Oh yeah, that's been going while I've been doing these vacuuming because the cats have obviously been moved out for almost a week here. So they haven't been bugging me while I've been doing the cleaning and constantly. I still haven't even finished moving, to be honest. I've still got my toaster and my kettle and a few things in the cupboards that I've got to get scooped up this afternoon. So it's I've really been taking my time, and it all comes to a head on Wednesday here.
You gotta be done by Wednesday. You're done.
Yeah, I'm thinking I should be able to get the last of my actual belongings out this afternoon.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you think you can get some of this damage deposit back before you go to Mexico? If you have a little extra cash?
I would think it should be instant, right?
Know.
I pay rent or paid rent via e-transfer, which is instant. So you would think that they could just all right, yeah, here's your final dollar figure of this amount total. We'll give you back this amount, e-transfer instantaneous. And I can just go straight over to the local credit union and take that out in American dollars and hope and pray that, use it for my tipping money.
Oh, you were right. Conman brought a hot coffee in. A hot coffee. The con man has entered the building after being delayed into McDonald's drive-through, and he just picked up the large coffee.
Large double.
Yeah. Good morning, con man.
Good morning.
How was
My
the weekend?
apologies.
Oh, no worries. No.
Weekend was good.
Yeah. Okay, how many hours did you watch? Because now the kid's in bed.
Yeah.
And you can watch, every night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you could watch something until 11 o'clock.
Yeah. What did I watch?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you watched
baseball.
Friday and Saturday, you watched Jays.
Friday, Saturday was Jays.
Did you watch the Elks after the Jays on Friday?
Yeah, put the Elks on. What else did we watch? The new season of The Morning Show was out.
Oh, did you?
So I watched a couple episodes of that as well. And then there's a new one on Apple TV, Final Frontier or something.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen that one.
That's what we were kind of watching when it's not sports. But then, college football. Not so much in the evening, but during the day. Yesterday was a lot of NFL.
And then at night.
And then the Oilers both nights.
Both nights, yeah. And even Sunday night football. There's I watched the Sunday nighter up until the Oilers started. And again, Pittsburgh's defense, it's you start talking about Cincinnati's defense. Pittsburgh's no better.
No, and it was okay for a bit. It started off okay. And then, when they needed them to kind of hold the fort down, it was just, no, we're going to let Jordan Love and Jacobs and Tucker Kraft. Yeah, that little play where Love just throws up a definition of a Hail Mary, just hoping for the best thing. Drops right into Tucker Kraft's hands. He does the rest, gets him right down the field.
Insane.
Yeah.
he had a big game and he deserved it.
I think as a DB, you're helpless. You're just kind of hoping that safety's lurking in the middle,
There was another pass.
That's easy.
It wasn't to Kraft, but it was a DB that jumped. He tried to high point it or whatever.
Yeah.
He jumped probably 3 seconds too soon.
Dropped it right over his head. Yeah. It's frustrating to watch.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, I'm glad to see the Steelers go down. Like the AFC, there's going to be fight for the wild card spot. So good to see it. But it was a fun weekend in sport.
Yeah. Well, I picked Cincinnati in the picks with the Duke.
Yeah.
They're up by. Cincinnati gave up 23 points in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter was 23 points. Well, You heard the story with Nick Mangold,
Yeah.
former Jets center.
They had,
one
they
of
had a
their
little
greats.
angel on the shoulder. Eh?
Yeah, and I mean the stadium's 45 minutes from where he grew up.
Yeah.
He's an Ohio kid. I mean that I kind of get goosebumps when you talk about that one.
I
But
would have rather won the bet.
for the bet, yeah, I mean that was unbelievable. Like, how did the Jets do that?
Exactly.
Some there was something helping them there.
Exactly. So even the Chargers, we didn't talk about that, but that was pretty big.
Is Eddie doing okay?
No.
I would never talk any smack to Eddie, but I heard he's a Vikings fan.
Yeah, he was not doing too well on Friday morning.
That was unbelievable.
Well, yeah.
Duke said Carson Wentz was bad, and I thought, yeah, but he's got Jefferson, he's got Addison, Hawkinson. Like, it's not that bad. He was really bad, and he, like, by the end of it, he didn't look like he wanted to be there. When you've got analysts saying, like, you can't be acting like this. Like, I thought, get him out of there. And McCarthy, I know they say the ankle injury, but on the sideline, he's hurdling guys coming right at him.
Well, the other thing too is that, we had Matthew Collar on from the Purple Insider, and I said, like, did you notice, like, the last game that they're really forcing it into Jefferson? Yeah, and that same thing. So, like, it's just on and on and on.
Yeah, well, and you have Addison, a guy who I think is more than capable, made some big plays. Like, find ways to maybe spread it out just a little bit more. I love the ratio. I love getting him the ball, but routes where he's going to win, I think you got to kind of scheme him up that way.
There were no close games except for the Cincinnati Jets game.
Yeah. We knew that coming in. 6.5, 7.5 was like
6.
every spread.
Yeah. I mean, well, no. I mean, even the Dallas was 3.5. Tampa Bay was 4.5. Who sets the line at that at 4.5?
I have no idea.
Like, that's just, I mean, New Orleans is so bad. Like,
yeah,
that had to have been a 6.5 at least.
Interesting to see that the Saints make the decision to go midway through with Shuck and
get rid of Rattler.
Move on from Rattler. We'll see, what continues there. But yeah, I mean, every game the Broncos looked very good. Cowboys just couldn't keep up. Eagles laid a whooping. Cam Scatterboat. Don't like to see that.
Tough,
that's going to set him back for.
Well, I think you lose that and you lose your best receiver.
Yeah,
in Neighbors.
Yeah,
that's a tough year, man.
Yeah,
and I don't think anyone thought Scatterbo would be the feature back here.
No, I wouldn't have thought so either.
Well,
I mean,
he deserved to be.
You just remember what he did. It was that game. I forget what the bowl game was last year with ASU, where he was doing everything. Like, he's a really good player. He's intense. I'm worried about him, but that ankle.
We get some textures that their nephew's the kicker at ASU.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we always get him in. I can't remember the name now; it's just escaping me. But they talk about how, because they would go to games and watch, and they would see Scatterbo, and they knew that he was more than what everyone thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
Because they were,
and he did it all.
How scouts don't see this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because he's like a big tank and you think, well, he can't break away. Well, if you run someone over, you can still break away on him.
Oh, and I mean, even if that's what he does, pretty valuable in your lineup, especially getting into the red zone. If he's going to run people over, a guy you might want to have on the team. He and Jackson Dart, like, assuming he gets healthy and bounces back from this, because it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, he's gone for the year.
Nice backfield there.
The whole Jets thing, and so Woody Johnson's just a village idiot. They're running the show or owning the team. But then you saw Justin Fields after the game. Did you see his comments saying, I had a tough week, man. I mean, the owner threw me under the bus, and he never said that, but that's what happened.
Did he say, like, laying in his closet?
Like, I mean, man,
that's it's
you're in a dark place, and for him to come out and play the way he did, hey, man, that's full marks.
Yeah, and that's like, kind of that beep you, like, all right, I'll go show you what I can do. And I always kind of rooted for Justin Fields. I've followed him since his high school days, and going into college when he went to Georgia, never made any sense with Jake Fromm being there.
Totally.
But yeah, for him to get the chance to go to New York, and it started off really good. Week 1, he was great, and I mean, it's kind of the curse of the Jets. Like, I don't think anyone had too high of expectations, but there's a few owners in the NFL that I think you just want to say, stop talking. Like, no one cares. Write the checks.
Jones,
Jerry Jones is another one. Like, you don't help your players the way you talk about them. And it doesn't make players want to necessarily sign there. You want to be an owner who I think provides the best for his team, signs the checks, maybe in the locker room after wins. I think of Arthur Blank in Atlanta, another guy. Like, he's around the team, but you never hear him calling out his players. I didn't like that.
So it's funny, and her name is escaping, but it's Ursay's daughter in
awesome.
Indy. Yeah. So she's on the sidelines all the time.
She's writing things down,
and she's sitting there, and you're like, okay, you'd think this could be a distraction.
Yeah,
but it's not.
No. I think Shane Steichen, like coach of the year right there for me, for sure. Just then I feel like I don't want to slander Daniel Jones, but Steichen is doing such a good job of like the reads are kind of easy. The throws are easy. There's so much separation created. And then the way they're running the football with Jonathan Taylor, like MVP right here from what he's been able to do.
Too, earlier
and
that he's
fantasy MVP as well for me. 3 touchdowns again yesterday. One of the leagues I'm in, last year in that league, I got Saquon second round. This year I got Jonathan Taylor second round. So it's been, smooth sailing, but they've been fantastic to watch. And, the defense is doing a good enough job for now. I have it on my calendar. Not actually, but it's like November 20th, 23rd, Kansas City, Indianapolis. I think it's going to be an amazing game in Arrowhead.
Connor Halley with us in the Sports 1440 studios. Jays tonight. Max Scherzer. How many innings does Max go? If he gets to the 6th, I think you could say Jays have a really good chance of winning this game.
If he's there in the 6th, they haven't blown it open yet, right? So I'd say, that would be a good thing. I think the last game we had him out there, I guessed 4.
4?
And he eclipsed that mark.
5 2/3 or something.
Yeah. So I think if he's gets into the 5th, that's probably a good sign that things haven't gone off the rails. And, you've held the Dodgers to not too much. I think it's going to be tough on the opposing side. Is it Glasnow tonight?
Yeah.
Under 1 ERA in the playoffs. Like this guy's legit.
He's like 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
We had Jensen Lewis on, and the one thing that he said that I can't wait to watch are the shadows. So innings 1, 2, he said 3rd, possibly. That's about it. You're going to see shadows in the first 3 innings, and it's going to wreak havoc with a lot of batters, and especially how it's about. I couldn't imagine, like I say, a guy like Savage with his deception and his delivery. But Glasnow will be a different beast than what Scherzer is, and I'm not saying anything that Jensen didn't say.
Yeah,
because the way it's a 6'8" guy. Scherzer throws a little bit more from the side-ish, maybe at times.
Shadows,
but the shadows are going to dictate a lot of what happens here in the first couple innings. That's what Jensen said. So
that's interesting.
And the other thing too, it's a 5:00 game local time, right? If you watched any games in Dodger Stadium at Chavez Ravine so far in the playoffs that started similar time, the fans aren't there yet. They can't get there. You'd have to leave at 2:00 in the afternoon local time and just get out there and wait, because once you get on that, whatever the road is, the highway, the interstate, you are in trouble.
LA traffic is awful. If you've ever been caught in it, you're like, never go back.
It's like, we've gone to Disney land and stuff like that. And, around Anaheim, it's not as bad.
No.
Not as bad, but.
We were there as kids, and my sisters wanted to go. I think it was H&M. Like, it was a store that wasn't in Canada yet. And my dad was like, we got to be quick. And long story short, we weren't quick enough. Then we got stuck in the traffic, and I don't think we got out of LA till like 7 at night.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, there's nothing you can do.
No, you're just stuck in it. You wait.
There is nothing you can do.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. Like game 1, that I was kind of just, as everyone was like, holy cow, the Jays, they're getting long at bats. Like they're going to make the bullpen a big part of this game. And then Saturday,
Yamamoto,
he's so good. And how many times I thought, why aren't you swinging? And then you see the replay and the ball just drops, like the curve he has on it.
Drops, but it doesn't drop like, say, Little. Little drops 24 inches out of the strike zone. This one's still around there.
Yeah.
So you're still, as a hitter, you can't not swing.
And as like a viewer, it's just like, come on, it's right there. Why are you not making contact? And no, he's unrattled. He's unfazed. He was a great performer.
Monday Night Football, you got Chiefs. It's 11 and is it 11 and a half or Duke's 11 and a half? So I took the Chiefs, and I haven't made a correct pick in 8 since week 4.
It's been a while.
8 straight incorrect picks. So I took the Chiefs to cover.
We're not. You guys do Monday and Thursday.
Yeah, we do. Monday,
like we're on Sunday. Like we're not.
And 2 games on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to be increasing this Duke too.
Got to get back into it.
Hey, okay. I want both your guys' opinion on this, because me and Old Man Baker got into wouldn't say it's a serious argument, but it's an argument. So on Friday, this is what happened. So we're over there having a glass of wine on Friday. This is the father-in-law.
Nice night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just before the Jays, to get back in time and watch the Jays. Okay?
Red or white?
Red.
Okay.
Anyway, so I have to set the lines for the Sunday morning games. So I set the line assuming that Lamar Jackson's playing. And the line is 6.5, 7, depending what you look at. So now all of a sudden on Saturday, Lamar's out. The line goes to 2.5. I send him a text and I go, listen, I think, we have to either go by this line or we'll redo it. He goes, no. He said, the line's set. I go, well, that's how fair is that? And I thought, you know what? Isn't it sweet justice?
Yeah.
That Baltimore pounded them. Now, would you guys say, okay, yeah, the lines, Lamar, everyone thought he was playing. Would you guys say, okay, we're going to change this up? You better agree with me, Duke.
In this specific circumstance where you guys set your own lines, like I get, is it the same every week? It's always decided on Friday, or sometimes are you leaving it till Saturday night or Sunday morning?
Saturdays and Sunday mornings sometimes. But I was over there and we weren't involved in the conversation that was going on. So I said, hey, do you want to do the picks for the lines for Sunday morning?
I'm going to blindly follow you, Kevin. I'm on your side. Cheap.
Cheap move by him not changing the lines.
Yeah.
And he deserved what he got.
To lose. Well, hey, I'm right there with him, Kev, because I mentioned it, our weekly parlay thing that we went 0 for 7 on this week after winning a week ago. My pick was Bears plus 6.5. And then it moved to 2.5. I was like, wow, what a sharp bet. And then they still lose by 2 scores. But here's the kicker. So another guy had took the over in that game, which was originally 50. And Lamar does announce he's not playing. It moves down to 45. When I bet it Sunday morning, it was at 45, 46 points in the game. I won that bet. He loses in our parlay. Obviously, like I said, we go over 7.
That's outstanding. What's coming up today, Conman, on the Gregor Show?
Gregor Show. Well, Sean Brown in studio, so we'll have him in. We've also got Kevin Woodley. We've got Taters 2 in warning spec, and should have an executive from the Utah Mammoth as well. So
an executive.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. This is over my head. This is Slater and Gregor doing their thing, but
Slats.
Hopefully have someone to talk some Blue Jays.
Probably going to be Ryan Smith.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, Slats got it.
Yeah. Not our Ryan Smith. Their Ryan.
Their
Smith.
Ryan. Yeah.
He seems like a cool owner too.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, have a good show, big guy. Enjoy your coffee. Bring any donuts in for the guys again?
No. It's too much sometimes.
I know it is.
That deal, though, I'm telling you, I'm addicted to it. It's like the lotto. I heard you guys talking about it.
Yeah.
When I get a box full to the brim, I'm just jazzed up. Like,
well, I'll give you $5 or $10 here, just like
the thrill.
Paul did.
They hate to see me coming in. I'm in there every day, and they're like, oh, "This guy again."
Yeah, he knows his dessert boxes.
Give him nothing this time.
All righty. Thanks, Conman. That's Connor Halley, Fantasy Frenzy, Jason Gregor Show. When we come back, we'll wrap things up on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors, Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think you just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in-app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in-app.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and I know a lot about how RVs work. I post videos on Facebook every week showing the weak points and how failures can occur. But even I don't winterize my own RV.
What are you saying, Rick? You don't think you could do it?
Oh, sure, Bob, I could do it, but I couldn't do it at a professional level. When you expect your RV to survive the harsh northern Alberta winter, this is no place for hobbyists. And I don't service used RVs all day, every day. Instead, I hired people smarter than me to do that sort of work. That's the team that winterizes my trailer, the same team that'll winterize yours.
Your RV service team works 12 months of the year repairing and maintaining used RVs.
That's right, Bob. If you want your RV working right in the spring, the real work happens now, in the fall. Our winterization packages start at just $99, and that includes a full report in writing. No surprises, just the great outdoors waiting for you when the last of the snow melts.
And that's no bull.
NobleRV.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 1044 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you. Josh Fenwick and Sam the Record Man. You know, it's funny. I just got a text from a buddy named Josh Larson. And I almost said Josh Larson with us. But I composed myself there, Joshy boy. You happy about that? Yes, yeah, okay, good. Well, I'm glad you were up to date on the Raptors game last night when we had our little discussion, big guy. There's 2 games in the NHL tonight. And one of them, you know what? I'm going to throw this out there quickly to our listeners. What's the most pleasant surprise so far? I guess, you know, we could call it we're at the 10-game mark. Most teams have played 10 games. Yes, there's a few at 9, even a couple at 8, but there's a lot of teams that have played 10 games. So we're at that juncture where a lot of coaches, a lot of players always seem to set that grouping like a 10-game mark. What's the most pleasant surprise? Is it Utah? I mean, it would have to be strongly considered. They're 8-2. They got 16 points. They're on a 7-game winning streak. To me, that's the number one. Number 2, I think you probably have to say the New Jersey Devils. They're 8-1. They've got an 8-game winning streak. So those are the most pleasant surprises. But when you look at tonight's schedule and you see St. Louis in Pittsburgh, well, the Penguins might have to be up there as a pleasant surprise as well. They're 6-2-1 to start the season. So there are some really neat stories going on. The Montreal Canadiens, 7-3. I think that would have to be, you know, in a category where they would be a pleasant surprise. But Pittsburgh, I think, again, the Devils out east. But out west, I think it would have to be Utah. And maybe you would throw Seattle in there as well. You know, 5-2-2. It's one of those questions, I think, that when you look at it and go, there's so many teams that are outside the playoff cut line right now that normally would be in. You go, what's going on? What's going on right now? Triple C in a truck says, did Sam buy his jersey? What jersey is this for the Jays?
Yes.
Kirk? Alejandro Kirk?
On, well, I think it was Friday, we were making predictions on who would win the World Series in total. And I said it was going to be the Blue Jays and they're going to win tonight. And if Alejandro Kirk hit a home run, I would go out and buy a jersey. I did went and go get the jersey. I don't got it on today. I
went and bought it?
Yes, I did go and get it.
Good
It was
for you.
It's kind of hard because they didn't have any, so I had to get it like heat pressed.
What size are we looking at here? Is
Um,
it an official Kirk jersey?
I was about to say, I think they said something like, oh yeah, this is like an extra large or something. It fit me fine. Like it didn't seem like it was an extra large, but
So
yeah,
you're saying this jersey's an extra large?
apparently so, but it doesn't seem to fit like an extra
Not
large.
a
It seems to
chance.
fit like a
The chance of this
medium.
being an extra large is about the same thing as Tyler Warren being the number 1 fantasy tight end yesterday.
Hey, I don't know how good he is, but maybe it was. But I did do the research, and you guys were right.
Mike texted in, Conman got him right away. Quick. He wants to know where these $5 mystery boxes are from, Duke.
You can get them anywhere. It's so like the app it's called Too Good to Go, and it will tell you what places have offers on it. Like Connor gets them from Tim Hortons sometimes. There's a little kind of bakery spot down at the far end of the mall that we pop over to on occasion. Yeah, it totally changes where you get these little Too Good to Go boxes from.
That's fair. Here's a nice text from downtown George, I guess. Hey, Kiki, it sounds like the new coach bump is working in a lot of places. Well, that's a fair comment, George, for sure, because if you're looking, you got to take Montreal out of the mix and you got to take New Jersey out of the mix. But yeah, Pittsburgh, the coach bump there, Utah, Seattle. Yeah, maybe, Utah doesn't have a new head coach, but Seattle does. So I guess you're half kind of there, but there are some new coach bumps. We always talk about that, Duke. So there are about half of the teams that I mentioned have new coaches. So what about Pittsburgh, Duke? 6-2-1.
There's some surprises, man. You're not wrong.
Oh.
Not wrong. And the Penguins, I mean, this is a team that tell me somebody that didn't have this team dead and buried this year before they ever dropped the puck.
Not making the playoffs.
No chance.
Sid's getting traded.
Right? Maybe Malkin's getting traded. It's just full teardown. They're playing well to start the year. Got to give them credit. Got to give them credit.
And I mean, a guy like Malkin's having a resurgence.
Absolutely.
And, on the back end, I mean, Letang, he's sort of ageless. Carlson is what Carlson is. And they got Parker Witherspoon.
What more could they need?
Witherspoon. But if you look at their bottom
Artie
six,
Shelov's in net.
Yeah. Their bottom six are guys that you probably haven't heard about four of them. Tommy Novak.
Yeah.
Ben Kindle.
Okay.
Billy Koivunen.
Yeah, there's a
Connor
name not super familiar with.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone's familiar with their top six. Although, who's playing left wing with Sidney Crosby? Philip Hallander. Okay, so there you go.
There you go.
Like,
they're just looking for the next guy, right? That's all. That's what Pittsburgh. That's something that Pittsburgh has done really well over their run of success. That I think you could say the Oilers haven't as much in terms of like picking a nobody, and I don't mean this in disrespect to the guys that have done it, but a lesser light type player or an incoming player to then play with Sidney Crosby and ascend to a higher tier of ability. Now, Connor McDavid has had guys like Pat Maroon have career years playing alongside him. It's not been zeros, but I mean, like you look at what Crosby has done, like going all the way back to Kunitz. He's already Stanley Cup champion when he got there. Really good player. Made the Olympic team. Never be an Olympian without playing with Sidney Crosby. Jake Gensel was a rookie when he came in, right? But prolific college scorer. Guys like Brian Rust at times. It's been an endless supply of just new players on Crosby's wing that have had success.
Philip Hallander was a round 2 58th overall pick by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2018.
Slow burn. Late bloomer.
He's been playing overseas forever. He ended up coming over here. Duke played one game and then was buried in the minors in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton for 2 seasons, went back to the Swedish Elite League, and now he's back with the Pens. So, I mean, I don't know. I never heard of the guy before. Have you?
No.
Yeah. Just being honest. So, that's still the best laugh that comes around here about Cam Tate rolls through the building here, and someone's made him laugh at something. So, hey.
He probably just heard you on the radio, and he finds that comedic enough.
Wake up, Tater. Getting ready to write his thing for today.
2-minute warning every day on the Graders.
Yeah, I mean he's got to have it half done. Can't just come in here at 11 and whip it off and have it ready to go in a couple hours. Got to edit it, Duke. You got to do this. You got to do that.
It's a process.
Exactly. Rockford says Anthony Manthan's playing well in Pittsburgh. Triple C. Montana, the rice man. I mean, he's talking about. Is he talking about the bet that we got?
Did they make some sort of bet?
I don't know what's going on.
This is lost on me. He keeps mentioning this wine, and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Triple C. Well, he's probably boozers after that Eagles win, right? Because he's Eagles.
Triple C in a truck, yeah, big Eagles guy.
Yeah. Well, Duke, you got one more day after today, big guy. I'm concerned though. Like, I mean, I'm really.
You should be
for next week because we've got a couple of events next week, right? The Pizza Pig out. Well, maybe we're not invited. I don't know. And then the Jackie Ray thing.
Yeah, big shindig, and then I can't remember if it's Thursday or Friday. It must be Friday because it's Halloween. There's a little shindig here, and everyone's encouraged to because it's also JR's kind of going away lunch, right?
I'm going to play hockey.
Oh, Kev, you gotta stick around for this. You gotta come dressed as your best
cowboy.
Your best country impression. I told Connor I'd lend him I'm not taking my pearl snap to Mexico so he can borrow it.
Well, I got
my boots. And he can rock the Eddie Steele
I will just
jeans
wear
on the inside.
Eddie's boots.
Yeah.
I've got that antique Calgary Stampede bolo tie, dude. I could wear that. It's just unreal. This thing's got to be worth a lot of dough.
Really?
Well, it's an original. It's from, it was my great aunt's husband's. So it's got to be 100 years old. How long has the Calgary Stampede been going for? 100 years?
110 years now, isn't it?
So I'm saying this thing's 100 years old.
Wow.
Maybe I should sell it. Is anyone interested in buying? And what do you like? What? Hey, Eddie did it. Hey, Spec, I'm going to get the Spec bump. Anybody know about any floating shelves?
That was one of the funniest things that have happened.
Oh, man. And then I saw, he showed me a picture where these shelves are going to go.
Yeah.
Like you don't need floating shelves where he's doing this. I don't know. I can just see Eddie with a hammer and then using the wrong end. Unreal. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochep T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. Till 2 o'clock when Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. And hey, you can't beat this at 6 o'clock. We got Blue Jays baseball right here on Sports 1440. So we got great programming, Fox Sports all night. We're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 bells. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your next dinner's ready with Loca Quality Market's gourmet meals. Choose from over 200 chef-prepared meals. Shop local at loca.ca. Hey, thanks everybody for listening this morning. Really appreciate you spending some time with us on a Monday morning. Couldn't do it without you. All the great texts. Thanks a lot for being a part of the show. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 bells. Until then, here is Sam, the record man.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 3 of the World Series tonight in Los Angeles as the Blue Jays look to take a 2-1 lead. Max Scherzer starting for Toronto with first pitch at 6 p.m. Only 2 games in the NHL tonight as the Senators host the Bruins and the Blues head to Pittsburgh. Monday Night Football has the Commanders facing the Chiefs in Kansas City. Kickoff at 6:15. And off the field, Tyler Lockett has signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. Lockett had signed a 1-year deal with the Titans in April and had 70 yards on 10 catches before being released last week. Raptors on the road tonight as they take on Wemby and the Spurs. Tip-off at 6. 10 other games on the hardwood, including the Cavaliers heading to Detroit, the Magic and the 76ers facing off in Philly, the Thunder rolling into Dallas, and the Timberwolves and Nuggets going head-to-head. In the CFL, the Owlettes have signed fullback David Dallaire to a 3-year contract, and the 2027 Grey Cup host city has been named with Regina getting the honors. Coming up at the top of the hour, it's Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas, and this has been your Sports 14.